each and every day. Boxes always pay, 'cause I'll take you to where the sun shines, loading you along with my crew. We'll head into space and ship any place that's cargo. Packed up nice and tight, commerce feels so right, transporting you to where the stars shine, moving you the way that I do. We'll always see it through. Our credit will accrue. My cargo and I will find through.
Okay, that's enough. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Roundtable. Oh, look, the background changed. Oh, no.
No.
Oh, I got the nice background up. Oh, well. Let me fix that.
Fix that.
Yeah. Hang on. Give me a...
Could you fix the number 2?
No. Do you think I have time for that shit?
No.
Well, I would hope.
Wow.
Oh, come on.
Junk. Wow. This is
It's a great picture.
professional.
It's like, boom.
Yeah. Wow, look at that.
Baby.
Yeah. And then 442. 42. Squadron 42.
Yeah, it is 42.
Awesome. We
did not do that on
way.
purpose at all.
We did. We did. We knew it was coming 442 episodes ago.
Yes, we've been planning this for 12 years. Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
12 years.
Yeah.
Damn, that's a long fucking time.
What did you do 12 years ago?
12 fucking years. Oh my God.
Let me lower the brightness there.
That's the age of a fucking kid. A teenager almost.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Oh yeah. Oh, I've seen many backers say that's, when they back this project, like they've finished high school and got a job and met somebody and had a kid.
So now they have the beginnings of a crew.
Now they nearly got Squadron 42.
Jeez. But there is a light at the end of the tunnel.
There is.
For at least one. for at least one of the items, even though it's a little glimmer, it's still not quite a light. That was heart-wrenching, but we can talk about that later. Let's just go down to the.
Let's go through it. So firstly, happy CitizenCon. Hope you enjoyed it. It wasn't too bad this year, I thought.
It was good, but I will say it was not as exhilarating as some of the other ones.
Is that because it's based on more fact than theory crafting?
I guess you could look at it that way, but it's more of these are things that we knew were kind of coming, and they're just more things that they're giving us. There's nothing really groundbreaking, can I say, or
But it's all groundbreaking,
or new and exciting kind of stuff, and I'll explain that a little bit more. But nothing really rocked my world in this CitizenCon.
Okay. Right. Well then, let's get on with it. So
Brave New Worlds.
Well, firstly, let's complain about how early it was.
It wasn't early for you guys.
Well, it was kind of early for me. I'm not a morning person, so like.
It was early for me.
It only started at 12 midday. Actual first panel.
And I feel sorry for the people in the U.S. and California because it was really early for them.
It was. Yeah.
So CIG, we love you and everything, but
what else can they do? It's a local time.
Maybe
it
an
takes
hour
precedent.
later.
No.
Or two.
Well, they probably had to leave the premises at a
That would
certain time
have
anyway.
gone on for too long in the end.
I mean, it would have been too, if it was in the U.S. You guys would have to stay up till the wee hours of the night, right?
And we did that as once as well.
Right.
Well,
so
we
it's
don't.
like,
No. Are we? Is it late night or? Oh yeah, it is late. Yeah.
If it's in the
Getting mixed
US,
up,
yeah, it's late night for us.
Yeah. And we're lucky they don't have it in Australia. That's hell.
yeah, that
That's
would be
like
fucking
early morning.
Yeah, please don't do it in Australia. We love you, Australia, but not time wise.
So before we get into the greedy details, let's talk about the whole other aspects, like the layout, the content of the arena. What did you think about that?
So
Like we saw the Hornet.
The Hornet was neat.
Yeah.
So that was kind of cool that they did that. Was it necessary? I don't know.
No,
but it was kind of neat. I guess maybe if I was there, I might have gotten a little bit more, tingly over it. It wasn't even the right scale or size. It was actually smaller than. So yeah, but yeah, that was pretty neat.
It was pretty big. Like the Lando actually walked around it at some point where you can really see the scale.
Yep. I was really surprised at the detail of the guns. I was like, holy shit, those actually look like the fucking real thing.
Yeah. And they were pretty good.
It would have been cool actually if the barrels rotated. Of course, that's going a bit much since it's all wood.
Yeah.
So apparently they're going to bring this to other events.
I mean, that's all they really
You can quite
do
see
with
the
it.
scale here because you can see all the people in the.
Yeah.
Nice overview shot, by the way.
It's not like you're going to be able to put it in an office,
Well, no, they put the Saber Raven in the Manchester office.
Yeah, but that was a lot smaller than this, and they were
that was smaller. That was actually at CitizenCon 2017 before, and they were hanging it from
and then they can hang it up in the ceilings, so not very intrusive, so to speak.
There was a couple of cool things I saw. So you saw the bar over there.
Yep.
With all the banners, I wished I saw those banners. That would have been cool.
Banners.
Yeah, you can see the
flags.
Different color banners. Yeah.
For all the different factions.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I didn't see that.
Yeah. During the live show, you know they were right up. Like you saw Jared behind it mixing. Yeah, I saw these cargo containers. This is very clever, actually. Again, so this is where the community booths were. So that's a pretty easy way of creating a booth, because one side is usually has this kind of curtain that you fold back. So yeah, that was a very good way of doing it. And even the cargo, the community floor looked cool. A lot of people doing models, and a lot of effort seems to be put in this year by orgs. A lot of like ATI or ADI. Yeah, they had a replica of the ASOP terminal, but really cool looking.
Got a picture of that somewhere, but
yeah.
Well. There's so much shit in here anyway.
Is it me?
What? No. We're fine.
I'm not hearing it. It might be just you.
No, ADI had they actually, no, that we already saw it before, but then earlier today, Jared actually went through the booths and showed off all the stuff. There was a ASOP terminal thing with a little program on it, and you stick and they actually had these crypto keys that they passed around. Someone stick the crypto key in the terminal and started doing something. And I think you could win a ship with it or something.
Oh, that's cool.
That's kind of cool.
A lot of people were just promoting themselves, and they were showing off their 3D printing skills.
Yeah, and this stuff. There was a bond emergement. I saw. Now this is a happy doggy in front of Port Olisar.
Really?
Yeah.
So that was really cool. I will have to admit. So the same people that made the
Was that Chinese?
retribution.
Yeah.
Yep. Same people that made the retribution model, which happened to be there too, made Port Olisar model.
Oh, here's the thing from ATI, by the way. There. Yeah. It's a hacking thing in it. Yeah, I'm looking for that picture because I made a couple of the the Chinese make models here. They had a bunch of smaller ones. Hammerhead, F8, I think Gladius in the back there.
So here's the thing I don't understand. It's like, did they get approval
Some of the bigger ones there.
to sell those? I'm assuming they had to have, right? Because CIG is usually pretty protective of their stuff, and they don't just give licenses to anybody.
They're willing to give groups the models if they, do it professionally. And I'm guessing they'll give them a contract or something, like you can't profit off of them as a business or something, because it's still their IP. So, and that's then there was a giant. Did they actually bring the? No, they didn't bring the retribution.
No, the retribution.
Yeah, they did. The retribution was.
Oh
there.
yeah, the retribution was there. I see it. Yeah.
My Discord is really acting up at the moment. So.
Why?
Oh yeah, the merge lines. Yeah, merge. Everybody went to the merge store shops there.
Yep.
Some interesting stuff there. What did they have? They have
they had
Pico with some kind of black jacket and
cap.
Badges. And...
Shirts, caps.
The shirt's on
pins.
the merch store, and so is the Zeus jacket.
Yeah. Okay,
so those pins were
though.
not available at the merch store. So I think they were only available at the event, which really annoys me.
Yep.
Yeah.
They did say some of it.
Oh, well. The Zeus jacket. Okay, let's talk about the price tag. Are we happy with the price tag of the jacket?
Oh, you're never going to be happy with the price tag on anything because it's obviously more than you want to pay.
No, it's getting worse though. But yeah.
I mean, it looked like a really nice jacket. It's got a bunch of patches on it. It's got nice inner lining and stuff like that. So I don't think it's a cheap jacket. I don't know if it's actually worth that amount of money, but then again, I don't go looking to buy flight jackets. So it really comes down to, do you think it's worth the value?
130 euros.
For me, it's not going to do me any good because I live in a warm area, so I'm very rarely ever going to wear something like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass. The price is off-putting for me, so I'll get the UEE T-shirt. I think that's probably the only thing I'm gonna get.
Well, I got the gaming mat.
The desk mat. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'll get that as well. I'm annoyed there's no badges though. There should have been badges.
Yeah, I would have liked the pins.
Or a different set, I don't mind them getting something unique, but
they always had well, not always, but for a couple of times they actually had pin sets for CitizenCon specifically themed, because I have a couple of them here on my wall. CitizenCon 2951, CitizenCon 2953. That was last year. They had a pin set for CitizenCon.
Yep.
And
That's what
51.
I'm saying. I'm kind of disappointed. People like him collecting those pins. All right, so
there's a goodie bag.
the goodie bag.
Okay.
The goodie bag is the last thing, maybe.
Yeah.
For the actual people there, I'm not sure if this was the premium ticket goodie bag or the regular goodie bag, but it might be premium.
No, I think this is the regular one. I don't think there was a premium, but
it says premium bag
the
on
bag
the bottom. But
oh, does it? All right.
From Reddit.
The bag was cool. I did like the bag.
Yeah, it's got a picture of
coin. The nice pin there.
Yeah, here. Looks like sturdy bag. apart from the fabric ones that we used to get.
So it's okay. I don't think it's good enough though for the price tag that
It
you
had
pay.
a box in it with a this thing
The
on
box
it.
is cool as well. I wonder were they uniquely numbered? I don't know. I know the coins were. Because they did a few giveaways based on, and the winner was based on the number of your coin. But yeah,
This was in the bag, I think, in the box. Actual coin there.
Yeah.
I'm curious what the Hornet is. Did he get a free Hornet?
No.
I'm just curious.
Maybe it's just a flyer. Who knows? I don't know.
Mm.
There was a bunch of that stuff like in my bag too. Like in my case, it was for the Saber Raven because that was the thing they showed after.
Oh, that's right.
I got a bunch of flyers.
Chris Roberts' signature on it. That's what it was.
Oh, printed signature. Yeah.
Printed signature, probably. Yeah. CZ Daddy, he wrote it 5,000 times.
Yep.
Oh
yeah.
Maybe.
I don't know. Who knows? So yeah, that was kind of good overall. So right, let's get into the gritty stuff. We're going to be here for a while.
Brave New World.
Brave New World.
Genesis was an update about the engine.
So they basically went over how they're going to change the way they build the world based on data points. So basically, it's going to be a database with all these different metrics that will be used to build out the world. They're also introducing new biodomes.
Yeah, they were cool.
Biomes.
New biomes, new clouds.
Actually, moving clouds.
Yep.
Moving clouds, yes.
So
finally,
I think what they're doing is fantastic. The stuff that they showed is fantastic. What I will say is that the stuff that they showed is stuff that you see in existing games now, right?
Really? Like
like when you go into a jungle, you see the kind of jungle stuff. Not all of it. I mean, there is some new tech and stuff. I mean, the whole thing is really fantastic because it's systematic. I'm not taking away from. I'm not trying to take away from their accomplishments.
Yes, you are.
What I'm saying is, what they're doing is they are getting the biomes to be on par with what is expected.
Is that a Star Wars reference?
No.
Maybe.
Do you think?
The Crash X-wing.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
They are now able to develop and provide assets that you are accustomed to in standalone games, right? You can go and play some games and you can see stuff like this, right? So they're getting it up to that level, and systematically, right?
Yeah,
which is
exactly.
beyond what other people do, because they actually hand build those out themselves and all that other stuff.
Well, it's,
so from a technological aspect, they're beyond other companies. From a visual play thing, there is aspects of it that is beyond other companies, but it actually brings it up to where almost it's an industry standard. And then so from that perspective, I'm like, okay, that's neat. I know that it should make it easier for you guys to build planets now and stuff, and more well-rounded, more visually appealing planets. But from a general overall excitement perspective, it really didn't do anything for me.
Seasons,
yeah, that was cool. Yeah. It did actually excite me seeing this. Because I'm more interested in how they're going to get all the worlds done pretty fast, and this is quite impressive, I think. Yes, it doesn't look as good as some games, like the new Avatar game. That kind of jungle was very lush and very thick, But of course, that was mostly handcrafted, I'm guessing.
Yeah, and this is in white box, by the way.
And yeah, this is in white box, and then it's also going to be systematic, which will put probably Pandora Avatar to shame when they actually roll it out. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, and this is what I wanted to show here with this slide, is that the way that they built, they actually, I don't have screenshots of that, but it actually showed that the surfaces have a lot of layers other than the maybe there were 3 of them that they initially used, like humidity, height, and I don't know what the other one was. But now they're adding a lot more layers of properties into the planet's surface, which do not only alter the way that the procedurally generated tech creates the landscape, but and this is actually something I don't think he actually mentioned during this panel, but they did later in another panel when they were talking about the mining stuff and the fact that you were building bases onto the planet in specific locations, because the soil properties that they determine here also influence what kind of resources you can find on the ground here, which ties into the whole thing with the base building and the what was it, the extractors that you create there.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
So that's the other systematic part about this. What ties into the creation of these plants in such a way with the Genesis, this Genesis tech.
Yep. I mean, it's
while
it's
still looking good.
Incredible what they're doing. The jungles, the swamps, the weather, the
You got
rain,
redwood as well.
the redwoods, the clouds. All of it is going to push everything to a whole new level. The concern, it's not really a concern, but they're going to have to retro a lot of the planets to this new tech, which means that everything's going to change because it won't be an exact replica of what it was when they put in all the values and stuff. So things are going to change on some of our planets.
That's not the first time that's happened. So
no, I know. I'm just saying that's what one of the things to expect when they roll this out. Which could cause other problems, that's Bug Citizen for you.
More improvements to cloud lighting.
I just hope it doesn't tank your computer. That's the only thing.
Well, they always said they're going to push the machines to their limits. Yeah. But they did say that they're going to be, again, multi-threading, offloading some things from the CPU into the GPU and stuff like that. So, I mean, that's all going to be a balancing act. They'll eventually figure that out.
Yeah, the clouds was cool.
I mean, watching them roll in and change and all that other stuff was freaking awesome. And then watching it rain, that was freaking cool as shit.
Yeah, it just reminds me of the weather here, where 1 minute it's just nice and sunny, and then it's pitch black and raining horizontal.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I feel sorry for Aurora pilots.
This guy? Yeah.
Yeah. I see a lot of people selling their Auroras for something bigger, hopefully, or they're going to avoid lightning storms because obviously you can't take a lightning hit in an Aurora. So
this is one of their
brutal.
Yeah, it was brutal. But this is one of their attempts to cordon off areas for pilots.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So they've basically temper your area, which this is probably one, and then they said they're going to create permanent weather storms where you just cannot fly in, or you can, but you're taking a big risk. And so this is obviously trying to encourage the ground vehicle gameplay.
Yep.
So yeah, I look forward to that, and hopefully they'll build roads and track so we can actually traverse the landscape.
Well, that I think comes into play later, more so in the crafting aspect, and maybe some of this aspect too. This whole what is it, Stark Attack?
Yeah, this was part of the outpost and the way that they're going to be clustered.
That may play into some of that as well. The one thing I don't like about the Stark Attack is that they can overpopulate a moon when a moon should just be a moon. There shouldn't be a whole lot of shit, you know?
No,
They let the players build it out. I don't need the example that they showed, 3,047 freaking assets on a planet to have to go and
You
explore
are
it all.
as long as the day long.
They do this
So,
because of server
no.
meshing.
No, hang on a second here. This is a gargantuan map. That moon that we're seeing here, or that planet, is huge as a map.
Exactly.
And even if it's 3,000 assets in it, the gaps between it, the distance between it is humongous. So there is plenty of space for players.
How many things do we have on our moon?
No, stop it.
How many things do we have on our moon?
What a comparison, Jesus.
We got like what?
No.
10, 20 little freaking droids
And
or
if it's
whatever?
you're an old man shouting at clouds, what are you talking about? Only
that's
a couple thousand.
Yeah. No, there's plenty of room for players to go
Exactly.
They're taking up my space.
I don't think they have enough. They should double it. They should triple it. Matter of fact.
I gotta build stuff. Plus, if they put so
Go to
here's
an
my
uninhabited system.
if you fill up all the moons, and let's use Pyro as an example. How many moons on Pyro?
A lot.
Okay, so let's put that they can double it, right? So 6,000 different locations full of shit. In, what is it, 20 moons or something like that they have?
What,
right?
in Pyro?
Yeah.
No, it's only 5 moons. Only 5 moons in Pyro.
No, there's 5.
There's one planet that has 5 moons, and then there's...
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's all there is. The rest
so
there's 20, some of those planets have moons too.
No, only in Pyro 5 has moons.
Oh.
I'm going to disagree with that, but okay. Anyway, the point is, you put that much shit in the freaking solar. Why am I going to leave?
Pyro, planet 6, satellites
I'm not
6.
going to see everything.
Well,
I'm not going to be able to get to everything. I'm not going to be able to do everything.
I believe that's part of that's one of the reasons why, because there's just so much to do that they put it so as to what that's the Innovis. They don't want you to leave. They want you leaving the system to be a pretty big deal.
That's why they want me to leave to go explore the galaxy.
Well, if you're an explorer, okay, that's different. That's slightly different. You're explorer. You're transit by your nature. You're transitory. I get it. But if say a farmer or someone who's mining, you don't want to have a miner be bouncing back and forth, here and there, hither and yon, system to system. No.
All right, I'm getting yelled at by Shady, so I should probably take it back.
Look at the image, right?
If Shady's yelling at me, I'm probably off base.
See the islands near the bottom 247? I'm going to build a house and place you there with no ships or anything. You can sit there, fishing off the coastline or something like that, and you can just chill there.
I don't want to do that. I want to explore. I want to see everything. And if there's too much everything, I can't see it all.
You can explore the island. There's a bigger island in the northern hemisphere. I'll give you that. You can explore that. Just walk around. I guarantee it'll take forever.
I got blueprints to fucking collect. I can't be going through 3,000 something places and every planet and moon to find blueprints. I'll never find them all.
You're no longer my friend. I will unfriend you here.
Yeah.
Yes. The social universe.
Oh wow, we're finished the first section already.
Yeah.
Oh fuck! Whatever. What the hell else you want to talk about?
That was basically it.
Oh, that was quick.
There's some graphic improvements.
It was just making planets prettier.
Yeah.
All right. Go on.
Planet clusters, asteroids. There was actually some AI improvements like this, and the fact that during the night they had less awareness. That was all just showing off that it was systemically working somewhat.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like kind of zoned out there.
Yeah, because we're so used to the NPCs being terrible. So
Yeah, there was some.
Was that all
global,
part of Brave New Worlds?
Yeah, I
Okay,
think so.
so
As a
yeah,
global
so then they were
illumination
showing,
improvements. Oh, and
and then they
actually,
also was.
but this is not something that we can show off. But there was a demo with sound, and the
Well,
fact
show
that
the video.
I can't. I don't have that handy right now. So I'll just wait until I put that up on YouTube anyway. But they were showing off. Yeah, they were showing off sound. What was it called?
Doppler
the
shift.
explosion. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
Doppler effect and sound delay from distances, and the fact that it actually takes some time for you to hear the bomb explode, and the shockwave actually hits you before you hear it. Yeah, they were just, and it did the Doppler effect with a Bennish machine. Okay, yeah, but it's nice that works. It brings that, especially the delay effect, that brings sort of realism to it. That when something explodes in the distance, you don't hear it instantly.
But also, it gives you an indication if something is coming or going.
Oh, you can tell how far away it is, like sort of.
So
The awareness
it will
is
be
nice.
useful. Yeah.
So yeah, social improvements.
Okay, so
That was a
we were
long
worried
overdue module.
Well, last week we were worried that this was a simple, stupid social media stuff, but it turned out to
Where
be.
did you get social media out of that?
I just saw the word social, and knowing the CIG's community, I just said, no, this is going to be something shitty. I just know it as a gap filler kind of thing. But I'm glad I was wrong. So this is definitely an improvement. Much needed tools to help us. Well, try
Johnny,
to communicate with each other.
Yeah, well, JJ basically said, and I guess Ben also said the same thing. It's like they're trying to get us to have, at least at this point, the minimum MMO type features for communications and social interaction, right? So that's what they're doing, is they're just building out the ability to have social interactions just like another MMO, right? So you'll see some stuff that just like, okay, that makes perfectly good sense, and then you'll see some stuff that's like, okay, no, that's better.
Yeah.
And look, you can add notes like Ben's alt account, Chris' alt account.
So yeah, this is good. Tagging is always important because as in real world, you have various different levels of friends. You have good friends, and you've
blocked people,
bad friends, shall we say? So this is kind of handy. Particularly the block stuff is really handy.
KOS list as well.
Because we're gonna come across a-holes, and
note
you
that
want to know exactly why.
Note that these, especially the hostiles and stuff like that, it will also affect how they show up on your HUD, in your ship. Like when you encounter them, you will know that they're in your block list by the way that I think the colors changed on the HUD when you do that.
They'll put them red.
Yeah, there's yellow and red, I think. And then your friends are green and dark green, I think. This is a nice quality of life improvement, definitely. Because I've already come across a few that are highly questionable as human beings. But yeah, the party. So this is good. You can make so many different types of parties. Some like within your org, some based on your ship. So within your friends, you'll see the party of their ships. That's kind of handy.
Oh.
So let's say you were in your Spirit and I'm in my Zeus, and we had a bunch of other people who are also friends. So you'll be able to see that they're on the ship and all that.
You got ready checks and.
Yeah, again, basics in MMOs. There's again massive quality of life improvements and really good for orgs because they need to start getting ready now for the 1.0.
I can't wait for actually to be able to use this stuff.
So like training missions, for example, or even just going on any missions is a need. You need to know who's there and available and ready.
Group Finder.
Okay, this is interesting. I think this is one basically trying to find missions, isn't it, with other people?
Yep.
So somebody put up saying, "I have this mission. Anybody want to join me?" So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, they had that in WoW.
Yeah, of course.
Like I said, they're replicating, features that have been in other MMOs. So when I saw that, I was like, oh yeah, that's fucking great. I remember doing
Successful features.
But up to now, all we've had is seen people in the general chat saying, "I'm doing this. Everybody want to join me?" But it's not really a successful system to use. So yeah, again, another massive quality of life improvement. Hopefully, this will encourage people to get together and play.
As long as they don't put in stuff like mechanics such as in WoW, where they limit you can limit what is it, the gear level and stuff like that, because that's just ridiculous. Let the people find it out for themselves if they're good enough to do the raid.
You had to have that in a situation like WoW. This is not WoW. This is Star Citizen, which is an open sandbox. So there is no reason to put limitation.
Well, I mean,
there's no
as we'll soon learn.
So it's not
actually,
it's not like you
true.
can say, well, you have to be an expert shooter.
Because as
you
we'll
have to
soon
have a
learn,
kill rate of 100 and whatever. It's like you can't do that.
Demo showed us that we will have item stats quality.
People aren't going to be asking for that stuff.
Well, people will. If they want to. Like, do you have a good item level stats? Otherwise, you're not coming to this raid with us.
Well, you're not wrong.
They'll do it.
Oh, the thing is that they have to build it to allow them to do that. And then, so if you don't build it in, you don't have to worry about it. But back then, WoW, you needed to have those stats. Otherwise, you could not be of use in the raids.
Well, if you were slightly below it, you could probably still do it. And that's the thing. They put a hard limit on it, even if it was not really. Even if your actual skill meant that you could still do it, the hard limit.
But you can't.
Made it so you can't.
You can't rank skill. Skill is
yeah, but let the players figure that out. You put a number
on skill. Yep.
And the hard limits make that difficult. Anyway.
So
here's the
customization of your chat. Yeah, this is pretty cool. You can make it big or small as possible. Increase the font size, which is handy, I think, at times, and the font color hopefully will help to do with bright backgrounds. This is again another quality of life improvement. This is everything is massive quality.
Slash commands. Where they got that from?
That's right. Yeah, I wonder where.
Party chat.
Again,
linking.
They're replicating everything that is currently in MMOs. They're not inventing anything new.
Well, yeah, we've seen that. Well, Steam Chat, I think, had that first, didn't it?
There was IRC had that.
Exactly.
Chat's just been it. It's not something new.
It didn't even come from games. Actually, it opened me in a different tab. Hang on. I thought I had it on display.
Tabs.
I wanted to. Yeah, that's the one. Slash commands. You see that P. And then they showed us this. So it's like linking in chat as all the other MMOs. Cool. But you can link missions, items, locations from the star map. And if you click on it, it'll take you straight to the star map destination. Item, vault arrival, and even players, I guess. Like a Sean. So yeah, that's all pretty standard, but it's good that we're getting it. Then it was VoIP updates, which I'm still like, okay, it's nice, but are we really going to use
better
this?
Detection.
Well, no,
there are people that use it.
No, it's using is not the issue. It's just I still don't believe it's reliable. Because if you pay attention to the person here, his face has a bright light shining right into it.
Yeah, he has perfect conditions, and it's not like that.
Right, and he said that, but he also said that they've made changes so that you don't necessarily have to have
but he doesn't show
bright lights.
No, I'm going to say it. I doubt that. I don't believe that until I see it. But also, they didn't talk about other issues, like, for example, glasses is a major thing. Thick beards. Even though he has a beard, I still don't believe that thick beards work well with this. But anyway.
Well, your beard covers your entire mouth. How are you expecting it to work?
Well,
Trim it.
If you paid attention
Do it
to
for the
Trim
game,
it if
trim
you
it.
want your mouth to be seen.
if you've seen CitizenCon and you've seen all the heads that are walking around, most people look
there's a lot
like,
of those, yeah.
you know.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
big.
on them. If they want to use the feature and you can't show your lips, clean up your beard and show your lips.
Clean up my beard.
Clean it up.
Okay, it's like that now. All right.
Well, here's the thing. You can okay. So here's the thing. You can blame the technology and say, "Oh, it can't see and read my lips when it's covered in hair," and blame the technology. Or you can take ownership and say, "Maybe I should trim my mustache and beard a little bit so that it can actually see my lips, so I can actually use the feature that I want to use." Now, if you don't want to use it, then don't trim your beard. You know, it's like people have to start taking responsibility for themselves.
No.
Yes.
Yeah, and like Shady says, mostly the role players are the ones that use that. And so they're going to do whatever they need to do to make sure that it works. If they have to put an extra bright light, they have to trim their beard and mustache, you know. Can't do anything about glasses unless, you know, that hopefully they can work around that. That might be, you might be able to make it work with glasses if you put lighting differently. So it doesn't
No.
cause a glare or reflection. Who knows? I'm not saying it's perfect, you know. I'm not trying to defend it 100%, but I'm saying there are things that can be done by certain individuals to actually get it to work more efficiently or better than not doing anything and just blaming the technology.
So they're
blame.
There aren't that many games that do this, is there?
No, well, that's for good reason, because it's so niche.
Because it's hard.
Well, it's hard, and it's niche too. It's like not a lot of people are really into this anyway.
Yeah.
So this is the integration of the guide system.
Oh yeah.
Thumbs up.
Yep, definitely thumbs up. This is a cool thing, I think, because the guide system is actually not bad. It's just that, well, at the moment it's a bit awkward.
It's kind of stupid that you have to do it through Spectrum in the first place, or through the website, and then boot up the game together. It's like
because if you think about it, like, even though let's say you're part of an org, now most people will probably be in small orgs, and not everybody's going to be available. So you want to say, okay, I'd like to learn a bit more about refueling. Okay, I know nobody else who has a Starfarer, so you can use this to say, okay, I can use this for training and learn the basics of it. This would be really good for new players, particularly, I think. But even older ones, you know, we all are probably going to have to learn most of these different disciplines.
Mm-hmm.
What's this thing? Okay.
Oh, beacons. So these are rankings.
No, beacons.
No, those aren't the rankings.
Yeah, I actually forgot what this was about. But this is beacons. No, beacons.
Yeah. It says beacons on the top, but you have rankings of the individuals. So when you're looking for something, you send out a beacon,
yeah,
and then you get to see who's available, right? So it works two ways. One is the person that's actually the guide, you're going to see their ranking as to what kind of a guide they are. And then you'll actually see the person that submitted the beacon, and you'll see how they usually react within the beacon. You know, because you have to, both sides have to have kind of an understanding of, well, is this guy a dick or not? Or is this girl a dick or not, right? And are they gonna like fuck me over or whatever, right? So in the early stages, obviously it's going to be the wild, wild west until people actually start acquiring the reputation, right? So if I ask to show me how to fly a ship or whatever, and I kill him and steal his ship, he'll he'll
What a dick.
indicate that I was a dick and killed him, and so my ratings go down. So that when I actually ask for another beacon for more training or whatever, another guide like Realm will say, "Oh no, he's got bad marks," meaning I'm not going to pick this up. So I screwed myself, and I'm not going to actually get people helping me when I actually do need it, right? And vice versa. If I go and I ask, "Hey, I need someone to show me how to refuel my ship," and you come over to show me and you steal my ship, I'm going to give you a bad rating, and your rating's going to drop. And then so when someone else puts up a beacon and you respond, I'm going to see it and go, "Oh no, I don't trust this guy. He's got bad marks, so I'm not gonna do it." And then so that person as a guide will suffer because he's got a bad reputation.
This is pretty good because I never touch the beacon system. If somebody pops up with a beacon, I just ignore it.
Yeah.
And that's because I don't trust anybody.
So this should help
realize
to
that.
some degree.
Yeah. Because
I was pretty happy when they said all this, because our resident troll is forced to be less trolly.
Hopefully, yeah. But this
Now-
would make me actually, go out and help somebody.
Now here's where the trolling comes in, and this is where the dicks will always outwin the good people. So they said the highest level you can get is platinum.
I
Platinum
like
is
dicks.
very hard to get.
I got to talk about dicks.
Okay, shitbag. Okay, so the shitbags, right? So you got people that are going to get better ranking as guides, right? All the way up to platinum. You can get a shitbag that will give you a bad rating just to drop your rating from platinum or from gold or whatever, because people are assholes. I don't know how they're going to. I mean, it'll be a tit for tat, where it's like, okay, I'm the platinum guy. I come over to help you, and then you give me a bad rating, even though I did help you, just so you can fuck with my rating. But then I can give you a bad rating if you give me one first. If I gave you a rating first, that's good. Then you give me a bad rating. Then basically you end up fucking me and the next guy that you do the same thing to, and you can just be trolling people where you just like try to ruin their reputation as a guide. So they need to come up with a way to prevent that from happening.
Well, they did say that you have the ability to report people now through this.
Yeah.
But that's going to be massive. They're going to have. They need staff for this just to look after this alone.
There's going to be trolls that are going to definitely go out of their way to ruin your reputation. Because there are people that are going to care about it.
Yeah.
Yep, Shady even agrees. There's going to be a bunch of people that are just going to give bad ratings to troll.
Yeah, that's depressing.
I believe it. It does happen.
Orgs,
recruitment.
So this is their recruitment page. Yeah.
If anything is to be said about CitizenCon, this CitizenCon is about orgs.
Yes, org oriented.
Very org oriented.
So this is a cool tool because I can finally say, like, whenever I always talk about the fact that Orcs 2.0 was supposed to come soon after the initial release of the org system on the website, and that never happened for like 10 years straight. And now it seems like we're getting it, but I mean, like, I don't believe it till I see it, obviously, but it looks nice. You got search filters and your focuses you can filter by, org sizes, alignment.
Yeah.
And they have lots of other stuff like event logs in the org calendar, which actually teased off the IAE dates there in the bottom.
Yeah, it'll show up all of the CIG events automatically.
Yeah, it does that on other MMO or calendars as well.
And birthday, yay! So I can put Invis's birthday so I can forget about it.
You'll get a large alert whenever it happens. Alert. Birthday. And there's other stuff like orc tags, so you can choose to display or not, but they'll be there.
Yeah, that's a nice. Again,
And even in the
smaller
game, and in the chat log, and in person. Yep.
But
And,
that would that only regarding the person, would that only appear if you're friends with them?
Probably.
No, it'll be a tag that'll carry over. Everybody will see it.
Won't you
So
just see tags
everybody's
everywhere?
name?
Yeah, that was never the case that we saw each other. So that's
Well,
still
I
a
mean, when you
question I'm having here.
let me rephrase that. You will, when you see their tag, you will see the guild tag. You will see it on the ships because the ships usually tell you the person's name when they get scanned. So it will tell you their guild affiliation if it's turned on.
But normally we don't have any tag. So you're saying that if you're in a guild, you will see that tag.
Yes.
But if you're not in the guild, you won't see the tag.
Correct. Because you're not in a guild. You don't have a tag.
Yeah, no, I'm just wondering, does everybody have a tag that we see?
No.
permanently?
Only if you are in a guild and they have the tag added will you see it.
Okay. That's not very MMO-ish, is it?
It is. It is very MMO-ish.
So is this for org leaders to manage their orgs?
Yeah.
In the game.
Usually you have a leadership group that manage all that stuff.
Okay. I like the way.
Yeah, my question is, how would they know who's an org leader and who isn't?
Oh, you saw just now when he was zoomed in. It says officer.
Rank.
So can you zoom back into? Yeah. Do you have the ranks? So you got
sorry.
the owner.
Yeah.
You got officers, members, initiated. Don't know if it's
Last
customizable
online,
or not, but
19 days. Last online.
Sorry, I'm out.
10 years.
10 years, yeah.
Okay, I'm out touching dirt, planting my garlic. So sorry.
Okay, so yes, there is a. Sorry, I didn't know you weren't able to see the
Best
stream.
detective.
So yes, there is a rank field that you assign ranks to individuals, and there's a notes field that you can actually put notes about them.
And you can add different permissions for each member as well. That's kind of cool. I like the allied orgs or the affiliate orgs. That's a really handy thing. Smaller orgs would like this because what we've seen of the whole base building that we'll talk about later on, it's quite clear that the largest orgs are only going to be the ones who be able to do this. So being allied with this larger org is an important thing. And so, of course, you need some kind of management between the different orgs. So that's a nice little addition.
We could be seeing the beginning of the sort of politics that that Eve was immersed in.
And drama.
When you talk about these space stations and possible Bengal carriers or capital ships and super bases. Yeah, get ready for it.
Yeah, one of the things I had said earlier, got into a discussion with somebody where like, oh yeah, you can get all these small guilds together to build the space station and all that stuff. And I go, that will never work. And he's like, sure it will. And I go, no, it won't. Because first of all, everybody wants it to be theirs. So that's problem number one. There's going to be infighting as to who's the actual owner of the station. Two, as time progresses, some orgs will contribute more than others. And if they're not the owners, they're going to want to be the owners. And so on and so forth. And the more orgs you have, the smaller orgs that you have are trying to compete with the bigger orgs to get stuff built, just going to create more infighting. So it's like it's a nice thought in principle, but unfortunately, human beings are just defective, and they
Defective?
just don't work well together. Yeah, defective. They just don't work well together.
I'm insulted. Colors, tags,
Decals and yeah.
decals. Yeah. Seems pretty basic here, but yeah, it's cool. Yeah, that's exactly what orgs wanted.
Shady agrees with me. The drama.
Oh, the drama. Oh yeah.
The drama.
Can't wait.
Yeah,
for
so we finally get ship colors, or guild colors for ships, logos for ships, for armor, all that stuff. So that opens up the question of, okay, so we can now satisfy all the guilds and organizations so that they can color their ships the way they want to based off their guild colors. They can color their armor based off of their guild colors. And they can put logos on their stuff, right? So is that going to satisfy everybody? Because almost everybody's going to be in a guild, or if they don't, they build their own guild, because you can build a guild with one person.
Oh, we don't know the details of
yeah, we don't. I mean, there's still more to it, but is that going to satisfy everybody so that they don't have to ask for the ability to paint their ships? And then CIG continues to offer paint schemes so people can buy them. But then if you're part of a guild, you're not going to use a paint scheme because you're going to be using the guild paint scheme. So are they shooting themselves in the foot because now they're going to be selling skins that people may not be able to use because they have to wear guild colors?
Shady, I think it's quite straightforward. I'm guessing that they'll have to behave themselves in UEE controlled space. Because then, they'll go after those orgs. So I think that's what will happen. There'll be no tolerance towards that.
Well, it's the risk versus reward, right? So if you're in UEE space, you don't have to worry about that kind of shit. But if you're in Pyro, you're going to have to worry about it.
Well, Fallout War will be slightly different, I think. It should be interesting to see what the larger orgs will do when there's major beef between them.
You do like regular gangs do now. You do it outside the eyes of the law.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Starware.
Yeah, that was the next panel, Starware, and it was just.
So yeah, this is a nice update that people have been asking now.
Well, this is what we wanted, yeah. So
yeah,
you can mix
proper mix
match clothing and armor. The thing though that preceded this one was the whole thing about the roles, which got me a little confused initially because I was like, it sounds like they're making classes, which they said that they would exactly not do. But
no, they're making.
It kind of isn't though. I realize it's just
it's just sets. Let's call them default sets, if you want to call it.
They're just armor sets that give you specific bonuses for a particular activity.
Yeah, so they had.
And the way they presented it as well, it seemed to be kind of Guy Ritchie-esque kind of intro that he usually does for his movies. Introduce these main characters that are larger than life. So they were just overhyping sets, really.
I mean, because if
but the sets now have stats.
But that's fine because there's nothing stopping you from collecting all the sets and using it for whatever activity you're going to do. Right? If you're going to go racing, I'll get myself a racing set, so I'll go racing. If I'm going to go into a bunker and take a lot of, do a lot of FPS, I want to get myself one of those heavy sets so that I can take a beating, right? If I'm going to be piloting and maybe doing some combat and stuff like that, I want a flight suit, right? If I'm going to be sneaky, I want a stealth suit, right? So if I can collect all of those different type of suits, I can use them when I need them, which is one of the things that they've always promoted. It's like you want to use the right equipment for the activity.
Yeah, and I realized later it's not just classes, but it's more to do with shit, I lost my train.
You get a bonus.
well-
Like Shady just said, you're basically getting a bonus.
This is well, yeah, and they're making this, and this was obviously this was going to happen anyway, because they're making this more than just being about armor sets being about the amount of protection that you have. And even back then they were already talking about the fact that armor protection also gave you differences in specific damage type armor, but that still only relates to the damage protection of that specific damage type you have and the amount of protection it gives you. That was the only thing that they had. It was either a lot of damage protection or not a lot. And now they're giving us, this thing where suits actually have a lot of other stats that give you protection, mobility, stealth, scan capabilities. I'm not sure what the G-force thing meant actually.
These G-forces when you're in flight. You're less likely to black out or red out, that kind of stuff.
EVA.
And these are just the ones that they showed.
Yeah.
There's a lot more associated with the stuff, right? Again, it
just gives you specialization options.
Yeah, and that's what people want to do. Some people want to specialize.
But I want to stress what the dev said on stage. He emphasized that what those levels that we saw, they were just made up just to show off on stage. It wasn't.
This is what they're thinking of doing.
It's just a general indicator of what certain clothing or armor does, basically.
Yeah, but it's, as long as it's not just about damage protection anymore, that's the main thing.
It's not.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I agree. Cool. And then they showed off the party doing a thing in the game, which had them encounter a Valakar, a big ass worm.
That worm.
I allude.
No, Valakar.
That was pretty cool.
That thing blew the fuck out of a lot of shit.
It looked like a little messy battle, though. It was like, I don't know what's going on, but whatever.
Well, wait, have you not been in Star Citizen events? That's usually what it's like.
No, it's just a bunch of random shooting.
When you have a random group of people getting together to do something,
it
usually looks like that.
It's a party.
That party obviously does not play that much together.
The weird thing narratively
here was that coordination was a little bit off.
They showed us that group and the fact that they all had these different roles. So
that
you would assume that afterwards they would actually display this in a way that they can use their unique skills. And then they gave them the whole group against the Valakar. Like what?
You would hope that that's what they were trying to do, but it didn't work out that way.
I mean, what the hell would the racer guy have to do in the battle against the Valakar?
The racer guy, they said, is to keep the Valakar from burrowing down and also to bring it up. So it's kind of like he's there to make noise on the ground.
Yeah, I guess.
To keep the worm from running away and for it to show up the first time. He is there just to keep it available for engagement.
I can't wait for the Daymar rally when they're all running across and suddenly a bloody worm pops up.
Well, that's if they race on Moldar or whatever that planet is. It would be funny if they didn't know that the worm was in that moon or planet as well. That would be fucking awesome.
You can harvest the teeth and the other crap pearls.
Yep. And obviously, someone's going to need it because when we get to it, you're going to need a lot of harvestables for things. But that worm is fucking brutal.
Yeah, they have baby worms, they have adult worms, and Apex.
Yeah, that Apex is brutal.
Then they were talking about the fauna
I
matrix.
saw someone posted in Spectrum. Well, I'll just drop an A2 on it and MOBA on it, and they were like, "Nope.
Nope.
If you do that, you'll probably destroy all the pearls and the teeth." So, yeah, you don't want to do that.
Who cares about the pearls?
It's a resource. You
It's a
care
trophy.
about those pearls.
You know,
It's
if you
also a
are in
trophy.
games, they just want to destroy shit.
But you thought the worms are bad. Flying octopuses. Christ.
Flying jelly.
Like, seriously. That's just crazy. I'm hoping they're harmless. And I did like this. This is a nice drawing of roughly where they're trying to aim at. I recognize a few.
Yeah, so what I think is that the ones that are shaded gray are ones that they've already developed and put out.
It's an interesting theory.
Because some of them you actually see
We've seen this thing in Squadron 42.
in the videos, but then again,
Yep.
there are some, like the bird I see over there, that should have probably been colored.
Oh, there's the hover, the flying thing there.
Yeah,
below it.
so that's kind of why I was going in that general direction. That shaded
Wasn't
looks
that
like
supposed to
they
be
may
on
have
Hurston?
already built those.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. But is the cow there? Because I don't see the cow, and the cow's not shaded if it is there.
I think, is that like a version of the cow there? Oh, there's the Geon Apex Predator, the second one on top.
So there's what that flying thing that looks like the whale, I think.
The one, the crab also, I think that was supposed to be one of the pyro.
The bird up top, I think that's the pterodactyl kind of bird that we saw in one of the videos.
Which one? Oh yeah, okay, yeah, maybe.
So I'm not 100% sure, but I'm kind of leaning towards that a little bit, saying that some of these, I think, because they're gray, we will see them in the future.
Yeah, hopefully.
Hmm.
Any of this will just make a world, seem alive.
Oh yeah.
That's the key element about it. And also
shaded. I saw that the crab was shaded, and that's one of the ones that they said they wanted to have in Pyro when they released it. So, crossing fingers. All right, so we're done with that. We're beyond Pyro now.
Okay. Nyx. So no surprise really. We knew that they were working on Nyx. I'm slightly disappointed it's in grey box though. I would have thought it'd be almost finished by now.
I agree. But it is in grey box, which is promising because it's not white box or concept.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm happy with what I saw. I'm glad they're off the big ball of rock that they were on.
Levski, you mean,
yeah. And this makes more sense. This more looks like more an old mining outpost. I like all the hangars everywhere, especially down the hole, which is now a tunnel.
I like the fact that we have to worry about Vandal.
Well, yes. Okay, so this is connected to Virgil, which is one of the Vandal systems. Now, under the old jump point system, it would have been a small jump point, but now that's gone. So I wonder, will we see much larger ships like the Hunter, Destroyer, and all that?
No, not right away. I think they just have
just the ships and the small fighters.
Yeah, I think we'll see blades, glaives, and scythes. I don't think we're going to see any of the big ships right away.
By the
At
way,
least I hope not. I hope not.
Every cheered when they saw the Polaris, and what I noticed was we could actually see into the cockpit and see all the details of the cockpit. So, unlike last year, we didn't have an interior.
Yeah, but they showed us that later too with the IAE sneak peek.
The
Polaris
so now we
now
can
has
see
interior. We will see it at IAE as well. I think you will probably even be able to go into it.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah. See, there's a Kraken. That shows you how big that hole is. It's quite impressive.
Here's the Polaris from the bottom.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of Polaris, they were fucking showing that thing in almost every fucking video.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it flew by.
I'm like, can you hype it any more?
Nope.
It's
Well,
like,
another thing I wanted to point out is we're going to see a lot of Volt weapons. The Volt guns that we know that have been finished a while back, but for some reason CIG been holding them from release. I don't know why, but yeah, they've just been showing them left, right, and center. So I expect them to appear in IAE as well.
so Shady, I don't want it to be forgotten, but he pointed out about the freight elevators going to work there. Will be expanded out. I love the fact that it is a 0G.
0G, yeah.
Right.
That's
so if you're not in the base itself or on one of the platforms, you freaking just jump off and you're floating.
In a way, that kind of
Love
reminds
that.
me of that Arena Commander level. I can't remember the name of it.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, one of the Star
Echo
Marine
11.
battles.
Echo 11, yeah.
Yeah.
And this is cool. Yeah, the tunnel's cool. I really
And then
like that.
and then one of the major shafts does this, the freight elevator with the whole series.
Yay! This is
Way
cool.
overdue. Wow.
Yeah.
Exterior cargo grid.
Only because the current way is buggy, but what it does now do is it fucking slows your ass down a lot.
Yeah,
Because now you have to move all those thousands of containers where before it would just hand wave you.
Well, so the question did pop up in our chat saying, what is happening to automatic? Have they removed automatic altogether, or?
No, automatic, well, that's a good question, right? So automatic is available if you take a ship and you bring it into a hangar and you store it.
Well, you can't do
automatic
that with
works.
this, though.
That's the thing, right? That's a question they're going to have to answer. Is like, how do we do automatic with a whole C, D, and E? Is it going to be? Is it doable, or is it, not a thing?
Yeah,
I'm assuming it's going to be doable.
I hope it should be doable. I don't see why not. But there's players who are saying, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to waste my time doing this. I'll pay the extra fee just to get it automatically.
Oh, fucking A, in a heartbeat.
So, because it can be annoying until they actually updated the ship tractor beams, which right now I think are a bit annoying. I very rarely use them. I prefer to use the rifle at the moment for moving stuff. But yeah, this is pretty good.
And they showed us a little bit of the interior.
Yeah, so what they seem to emphasize the fact that when you get into the elevator there beside the cargo dock, it brings you straight here to the cargo section.
Yep.
Instead of bringing you into the center Levski, and then you have to go.
So you don't have to run around all over the place to get shit done. You can get it done much quicker, more efficiently.
So yeah, players would like that.
So here are some of the key points, maybe interesting here. Obviously, Nyx is an X system. Delmar, physicalized asteroids. Current mechanics fits on local gameplay areas. But also, this was interesting. They're expanding the current landing zones with more zones, districts, additional districts.
Yeah,
more
they'll
gameplay
have to,
focused loops.
It's kind of small at the moment. It's the only major asset in Nyx. So yeah, it's going to be very busy for mining, I think, because it's a big, large asteroid and a lot of debris about the place. So yeah, they're going to have to build out with more areas.
This entails all the landing zones, even the existing ones, because they were showing us off an example where they were going to expand Area 18.
Well, if
this
anybody
allows them to create like gameplay loops where you go down into the pits.
Area 18 is different.
No, but this is about the player test when they were trying to increase the player count, and one of the problems was that players, when you hit the high numbers in the thousands, or even lower than that, you could not call a ship because there was a huge queue of people waiting to get their ship. So yeah, that's desperately going to be a major increase in the number of hangars.
Yeah, well, that's it.
Or hangar openings, should we say?
Yeah, Area 18. Since we kind of like moved into that, that is a specialized event, or as Shady calls it, a dungeon, right? So you're going.
Yeah, but I think it's a
to
personal
have,
side story, no?
Yeah, I mean, so they said B01, right? Is basically where everybody starts, right? And it's kind of like the contested zones, right? And you have to do it multiple times to build up your experience and level up, reputation or whatever. And then once you get to a certain point, then you can go down to the next level. That's where those shafts are. And that's instanced. And that's basically you and your party are the only ones in there. Right?
Yeah.
So that is very compelling, and very wanted by players, because they don't have to worry about that other group to show up and freaking gank you. Right? In the contested areas in Pyro, you're on your own, right? It's free for all. Anybody can either work with you or against you. Once you go into an instance of one of the levels in Area 18 or ArcCorp, because I think they may put it in other areas in ArcCorp, you know that you are safe from other people, and that you can actually focus on what your objective is. Now, getting in and out, you may run into people, because like that happened at WoW. I remember one place where it's like we get there, we're standing out, and then all of a sudden the freaking opposite faction comes running out, and they're like, "Oh shit!" and we're like, "Oh shit!" and we fucking go at it, and they either run back in or we run in,
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of those things where it's like you use the instance as your gateway for protection, or but once you're outside that instance, it's like back to war, back to free for all or whatever.
So we were all wondering for a long time, like Stanton, then Pyro, then Nyx, then what? And we got the answer. I think not very expected, though, did we?
Nobody expected it.
No.
The answer was, let's see, I got a screenshot. Castra.
Yep.
Which is connected to Pyro, actually, but it's towards the Prairie Line, which is towards the alien systems of which race was it? Xeon?
Xeon. Yep.
Xeon, yeah.
It was the part of the Prairie Line.
So it was a former Navy base that's been decommissioned, and now it's just a commercial port. The thing, go back to the map there, sorry. So I was quite surprised by this, because I've always thought that we would have Stanton, Terra, Magnus, because they're all linked to each other, and they're all also linked to Pyro. That map's slightly wrong, actually. And so they've gone for different triangles. So Castra, Pyro, Nyx is missing. What the hell? Oh, there is Nyx.
No, Nyx is right there.
Yeah, there it is. Nyx is then connected to Castra. And then connected to Stanton. We'll get another surprise later on, which we'll talk about, unless we talk about it now.
Well, that was a different panel, but yeah.
Yeah, we also got Terra.
Hey, Photosan, did he actually figure it out himself, or did he hear it from the developers? Because he has a good relationship with a lot of the developers.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't necessarily say he came up with it by himself. I would be willing to say that a developer probably dropped a hint in regards to Astropub.
Yeah, I was just picking off us, but
Yeah, I don't believe him. I really don't. Nothing against the man, but like he could have picked Hadrian there. You know, he could have picked any one of the other ones off Pyro. I think that was just either it was a damn good random guess, which then he should go out and buy a lotto ticket if he has that kind of luck. But yeah, I agree with Innovis. I think he kind of might have got a hint from somebody inside. He's well connected.
Yup.
And then after Castra, we'll get Terra.
Well, let's go back to Castra because I mean we
Yeah,
didn't
let's go
really
back.
talk about it. I mean,
So Castra, yeah,
I didn't know anything about Castra,
oh, did you?
But-
Oh, right.
but when he did the presentation, I'm like, I'm all in.
So there's only 2 planets here.
Yeah,
Castra 1,
Bullseye.
which is nothing special.
This is
It's close to the sun. It's hostile. I think it's hostile to us. I'm not sure.
It is hostile because there's a lot of toxic stuff from all the weapons
they
that
say
they
it here,
used and stuff.
dead and coreless planet, not suitable to be terraformed. Bullseye, used by UED for target practice. Alright, okay.
Yep.
And then Castra 2, which is Cascom, there we go. Planets with,
So didn't realize I had a ring, so that's new. Also, I thought the world was kind of bluish. All the concept images they had in the past indicate it was kind of a bluish world, but yeah, there are quite a lot of concept images of, especially the port.
yeah, they threw them all at us, like nothing we've ever seen before, I think.
No, so this is all completely different than what we've seen before. Yeah,
And then there's Castra Sherman Outpost, yeah, which is like half in the sky, inside of a mountain. Yeah, I could roll through these.
All right,
but
well,
there's shit ton
I'll
of them
trust you
anyway.
guys.
It's basically
You say
what
that
was
you
nice
keep
about
calling
this.
it.
Basically, was that they really said it was as a form of base, which they've really tried to make that aesthetic show up, as in you can really see it's an old base, and especially when you look at the buildings later.
Well, Shady, see, the thing again, you probably did, and I'd be very wrong, to call him out on this, but Nyx has also been in development for like 3 or 4 years, and as I said, he's been in the offices, he's been on the tours, he apparently signed the NDA. I'm not sure. I don't know. It's just, I don't think anybody would have guessed that properly, and it would just be pure luck. There was no logic to predict that it would have been this place that was next. No logic whatsoever.
These old turrets, and then these buildings particularly, which look really bunker-like, which is because it was a former base.
Yeah.
I would beg to differ a bit. The other group that I'm a part of, Soul Citizens, they had a couple individuals who guessed the next system was Castra. I forget exactly what was their rationale.
That's the thing. I like to know the rationale. That's the. I have no problem with them getting it right. It's just what was their rationale, and that's sort of like I have to find out what he said, and what was his rationale, because I can't see any. there really wasn't a rationale. It's considering that we started off Stanton and Pyro. There wasn't. I thought Magnus and Terra would have been the logical move, since they're all interconnected with each other. But yeah, anyway, let's move on. I've pointless talking about.
I don't know what else we're going to say about this old military base.
Yeah, it just looks cool. Yeah, I'm not sure what else to say really.
Dirk, it's not going to show up in Squadron 42 because it's still in gray box.
Well, this nice business park.
But this looks cool. Yeah, it's it's just another hero asset, really. Good to see. I'm slightly disappointed this is the next one, because there's not much beyond this.
Well, we don't know that. You're assuming there's nothing beyond this.
Unless they go into Geon space. It could be that
the map.
Squadron 42 Part 2 will head into Geon space. That's the only logical conclusion I can come with. That brings you to, what is it, Oya or Tohil. We may be dealing with issues of the Perry line and stuff like that. I don't know.
Yeah. Dirk, I would say you're right, but unfortunately, Squadron 42 is already complete. They're doing polish, so they're not going to be putting in a new asset when they're doing the polish and stuff like that. They're still trying to build it out. So again, I don't think we'll see it in Squadron 42.
And speaking of Squadron 42, the next panel was the demo. And wow,
So,
it's a lengthy demo. I don't know if we, well, I'll pull it up, but it's like
well, pull it up. Can you increase the speed to like
100 times?
Yeah, I don't know. Just do it
No,
twice anyway.
I just skip through it anyway. So,
Henry Cavill.
A lot of
Yeah.
people like, oh, wait, is he in this? Well, we already knew that, didn't we?
Yeah.
Tell me
That was
about
known
on the
for a
next-
long time, but a lot of them didn't know that, so it's good. Okay, yeah, Henry Cavill. That's
you say,
Henry
Rob?
Cavill.
You go. Yeah.
Yeah, go on. Sorry, go on.
No, just do commentary on that on the next show. You don't have to do everything.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
So
We still got more than half an hour before the show technically ends, so
And we still have the entire next day.
We're
got
going to
plenty
be
of time.
longer. We're going to be longer here. So,
Oh.
love this introduction.
Yeah, well, for one, I like the fact that this actually even ties into the narrative and the fact that when you later find out, well, we know that the player character wants to get into the flight academy, and he keeps, being rejected, which you actually hear during the conversation with Captain McLaren. And his main menu actually displays the fact, because you see here a bunk, and when you make a new game, you see the person go to the pilot training application form, which is exactly, and then you see the video with Doc, Henry Cavill, which is basically your character, which is at the same time is basically your character creation thing, where you're like, okay, this and that, your name, your emergency contact, your skill level, your homeworld. The funny thing is, your emergency contacts, whichever you put there, was actually in the game later when you do the letters, when you're writing the letter contacts.
Chris is my mother.
And then you can this basically he said this is just basic stuff. You get a basic avatar in the beginning, and then later you get to customize it, which we don't see, but that's probably all after the prologue. So yeah, and then this thing happens, which you've all seen, but is actually improved and looks a little bit better now. Because you've seen somebody do comparisons, right?
No. We don't have to do that. If you say so, that's
no,
fine.
but we just saw someone on Reddit do the comparisons, and it's like, oh yeah,
yeah, no, it's
the improvements to the
yeah.
fog. They obviously, because since last year they've done improvements to that tech with the nebula and just the overall stability as well.
Yeah.
So this we've seen, and then
the great reveal and all that. Sorry, I just want to stop.
What? What?
Back.
No, faster.
Get back.
You wanted to run through this in fast forward. Why are you going to go back now?
Because we're missing major things that are,
No, we're not.
Yes, we are. Now, I'll pause. Right.
These are just Mark IIs, right? You see
No,
a planet
not the
in the
Mark
background
IIs.
that you didn't see in the...
Pause. New Idris.
Where?
So this is the new Idris model that they've been talking about. It's different looking than what we have in the game. The engines are quite different, and it's a bit fatter as well.
You mean that one?
No, not the Bengal Idris. Well, there, you can see it there as well. A big one just went round by you, but, obviously you're not wearing your glasses. There.
All right, I see it. It's so blurry because they had motion blur on 100% or something.
So yeah, there's a new Idris model that they've been holding off on us. And if you look carefully, you'll see a lot of other ships. The Bengal that we know is the only one that's like that. Every else is
there's a
different.
flagship Bishop commanded by Bishop
Yeah.
is the actual Bengal carrier, and that's only one of them is there.
The other ships are escort carriers and cruisers.
Mm-hmm.
The ones that look like Bengals, but they're not.
And there's the Krugeri.
So the detailing of the ships it has improved. I've noticed that, particularly with the Javelin close-up. Compared to last year, I've gone through this with a fine-tooth comb last year, so I recognize the improvements. So we recognize this. We saw this last year.
See, emergency contact Chris Roberts. So he sends this to Chris Roberts.
See, they still play Sada Ball?
Chris Roberts is his lover. What?
Sada Ball today.
Is that what it says?
Yeah. So
Actually,
Sada
have
Ball
that in
is
there.
Still a thing. Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. What stupid detail, but whatever.
Let's not get too wrapped up in the details.
And this conversation, we know.
We can just fast forward to where we get to the part where.
And then we go through the ship, some conversations. You get ready for.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Faster!
So
this is all nice. It all looks alive. It's pretty much. It looks done.
It's really done well.
Yeah.
Right. You're hearing the NPCs talking and stuff like that. Some of them actually create quests for you if you listen long enough. And then you basically, you get your stuff and you are a turret gunner.
Yeah.
So that is your role on the ship, is a turret gunner.
There's the helmet flip.
And you get to shoot shit.
Yay!
How much fun is that?
Yeah, you're just a lowly turret gunner.
Yep.
And then they get a red alert. No, wait. First they do the calibration.
First aid practice shot. Yeah, you got to calibrate the ship because the guy before you is a dickhead. He doesn't. He does his calibrations.
It's just for you to practice, really.
Yeah.
Holographic vandals.
Well, at least they give you a reason why you're doing this, right?
With simulated bullets. As he said it. Yeah, all right. So then we get that, and then the fleet gets ready. And I want to touch on kind of like what I expect the media outside of the community to go start whining about the fact that 90% of this demo was cinematics, and there was very little gameplay in it. But we're all pretty confident that that's just because this is the prologue. And they're setting this narrative in a very strong way. And this is also the power, or the power. This is also the strength of Chris Roberts here at play, because
did you see the scroll?
He can direct this shit and make it really epic. And that's just really just what we saw here was really epic opening, prologue, battle scene. It's a lot of cinematics, and you don't really get to do much.
Scroll. There was a scroll in the game. There was a scroll in the game.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The guy's face glitch.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of glitches when you look closely.
He merged between. He's a scroll. He was changing his identity.
Yeah, he's a changeling. You mean there was this? Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah. I noticed that earlier. He's quickly does that, and then
he's a scroll.
Pops.
He's a scroll.
Maybe he's an actual vandal in disguise.
No,
do you know who that was? If you go back, right?
Yeah, it says his name on his shirt, dude.
No, this is him. No, it's not him. Go back previously.
Moreland.
First face. So he was the guy on the monitor in the turret.
Yep.
You see his face popping up.
Turret commander. Yeah.
Yeah, that's your.
No, but the second guy wasn't.
It's a glitch. We know that. Because it glitched back to him.
Yeah, it gets back. No, whatever. And this is Vega on the surface.
Yeah, can't remember. Vega 2.
Everybody, go get to your bunkers.
Get into the shelters, quick.
Yeah. It's a big speech. Nice speech. All right, let's go.
Yeah. Okay, cool ships. we see them actually on launchers.
Yep, that was kind of
Previously,
cool.
we didn't. Yeah, they didn't have that before.
Yeah, I like that change.
And then you see
Big fuck off engines. There we go. Everything getting ready.
these shots were
And
pretty
then-
epic though. Like the fleet getting like the outside shots of the entire fleet. Oh,
Yeah, it was done well. I think the way the Vandal kind of crept through the
and then
clouds.
the Vandal Kratsu, yeah. Okay, big king ship being like, huh.
We see destroyers and carriers, bombers.
Oh, and there was a bunch going on about these ships now.
So
F8s.
so yeah, so these are F8s, but they're slightly different. So on the CNC UI display on the Bengal, they come up as F8 CR-A or underscore A. Now, I'm still not convinced that's the model of them, but yeah, these seem to be different type of F8s.
Well, there's that one unique F7A as well that has 2 engines and stuff.
Yeah, it's the
We'll
one
talk about later.
Yeah, we'll go back. We also see
Caldra.
good detail, the updated Vandal ships, the size and the glaives and the blades.
Yep. It was a great prologue. The battles were freaking incredible. The gunner, the actual gameplay was pretty decent.
It was awesome.
Didn't last very long before you got knocked out, and then they went back to the whole cinematic piece.
Oh, it's nice as you saw on board of the Vandal ship as well.
Yep.
I love the detail on the Vandal.
And these
Yeah, the Vandals
suits they're
are
wearing.
freaking
yeah.
incredible.
That's their
Yeah,
bridge.
great.
Like there's a big arrows
Um,
looking out into the space.
Beam weapons are freaking
Oh, yeah.
phenomenal.
So,
Already too far ahead, so there's the battle.
do you remember the original concept? It was supposed to be a harpoon, so I'm glad they got rid of that.
The king ship,
yeah,
you mean?
yeah, it was supposed to be a giant harpoon that it just wedged straight into a ship and then it pulled it apart, basically.
Motherland.
The beam looks cooler, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was really really well done. I will say I was thoroughly engrossed in the experience.
Did you like the way they slide in and out of the cinematics?
Well, yeah, I mean I'm kind of annoyed that I actually had, that they would jump into the gameplay because I was enjoying the story. I was enjoying the battle and everything.
This
right?
isn't a movie, though.
It's like I was so It's like I was. It did what Chris Roberts wanted it to do. Right, is to bring you into the story, and it did. And when it actually switched over to the game, I was still really into it. I mean, I was like, "Come on, dude, kill those fuckers," or stop jumping around. So it really did keep me interested in the whole thing. Yeah, Dirk, he said the gameplay was 5 of 10 and the visuals was 10 of 10.
I think everything else was 10 out of 10. Even sound design, the score, the music behind it, just the
game
narrative.
So,
Even
Dirk,
with the crash, it was just enjoyable.
Directing.
So, Dirk, when you say the gameplay was 5 of 10, are you talking about because you were in the turret most of the time, or was it because you had to do the jump game, between the different rubble to get into it, or it was just
It was mostly
you were
very
trying
basic anyway.
running around trying to stay alive versus actually doing, more active gameplay?
Well, it was an introduction. Don't forget, so
Yeah.
you can't really throw you exactly in the deep end. So I think it's a standard way of easing the player into the game.
Okay, so Photo says
Rockets.
it looked like gameplay. So to him, the gameplay actually took away from the whole experience because it looked like and felt like gameplay. And Dirk says it was very basic and seemed a bit longer than it needed to be. So, yeah, I would say that it was a little drawn out.
I don't know. Because you saw that your ship was getting affected.
Yeah, I disagree.
And you see the boarding ships here. So you already had a few which hit your ships. But this is the scripted part, obviously. And I don't know how I feel about this knocking you out, and therefore you're out. You can't play now for a bit. But yeah, back to the cinema now.
Yeah, then you get to see the laser weapon in use at first time.
Yeah.
Like,
well, the smaller
ships
ship also had the beam weapons, and they fucked up some serious shit with those beam weapons. Not like this one did.
That was just like crazy.
That was
cut
that
ship
one
in
was
half.
Just crazy. But some of the other beam weapons were pretty brutal.
Yeah, I can now understand why they kept losing against the King ship. Because this, I believe in Lord, is the first time they actually defeated one.
Is it?
I don't know about that.
Yeah. No, they kept losing. That's why he mentioned the other wars that they involved King ships and they lost. In his speech, so.
Well, it didn't look like they really did all that well to begin with.
Poor Hammerhead.
I mean, it's like almost every ship was severely damaged or destroyed. But still, I think it's a great introduction to the game. I really look forward to what's next, even though it is 2 fucking years away. That was probably the most heart-wrenching part of the whole thing.
So here we are.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Superman again. So this is the pause. Pause that correctly.
Hang on.
Pause. So this is
the
a
special
new
one.
So this is special. We're not sure if this is customized or something, because we don't see this anywhere else in this demo. So
now that could also be the new Super Hornet. They just may not make it a 2-seater.
Maybe.
But it's got 2 engines in the back.
It's definitely bigger. It's thicker.
Yeah. Maybe they feel that the Super Hornet really isn't of need to have 2 people because it's a fighter. People just like, I'm never going to have somebody in the back seat. I'm going to do it all myself kind of thing. So we'll have to see when they actually release the next Super Hornet.
Yeah, bursting. Yeah. So somebody brought up, I don't know who it was, about the display only showing the retaliators and not the fighters. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah. So that was an interesting point. You couldn't see the fighters.
That was one of the things that they've talked about with the radars, where it's going to, you can mask smaller ships with larger ships. And so the retaliators probably were putting out a bigger signal than the fighters, and that's why they weren't showing up. But they could have also fucked up. Who knows?
Yeah. It's only a demo. Yeah, a fighter going against that bloody thing. That's crazy. Because that's a big ship.
Well, that's why they did the scene the way they did, because they said your guns are not going to get through. So he had to trick a ship into attacking him, so he can have it, shot up and crash into it, so that it would break the emitter.
Those moves are impossible in the PU. You can't turn like that, not that quick.
No, he's probably wearing the appropriate G suit.
Yeah.
Oh,
Still,
He's also in he's probably also in whatchamacallit mode. What the fuck's that mode?
My engine. So, should the other engines have gone out?
oh,
What other?
So,
Oh, I
like
don't
the
know.
engine stopped working, you know? Okay. Now, boom,
torpedoes!
boom, boom.
Boom!
I was really hoping for more damage than that, but then again, it is a big ship. Maybe I need to set some expectations. Big ships, you know, but those are only size 7s. If they were size 10s, maybe.
And then he gives the other guy the staff.
Yep.
So you know about the staff and the lore with the Bandul.
Tell us.
Basically, the leader of the ship, or I can't remember what it was called. You have to plant your staff into the ship
The clan.
to claim leadership of it. So now he hands it to him because he's going to stay and kill himself.
Self-destruct.
Yeah, knives and staffs and swords. That's their thing. And then we see the heavy fighter come out and do some serious damage to a tally. I thought the tally.
I think destroying it is a little bit more than just serious damage.
Yeah, I don't know. It was a bit more than expected.
I didn't expect them to actually go after another ship, but I forgot they are Vandul, so they are warlike creatures.
I don't know. I thought that tally went too quickly, but
He had to leave his mark before getting the hell out of here.
And so now we have a kamikaze leader.
Yeah, and go back to you.
Yeah.
Oh, me? All right. I thought.
Player.
Am I not dead?
No, you're not dead.
You just have a headache, hangover.
You were just napping.
Yeah, so this is just traversal, basic narrative based. Very.
Yep.
Not a lot of
Time to
gameplay. Or get a med pen and get going. And then there's some vandal that boarded the ship. And it's all very narrative. It's nice.
Yeah, they continue the narrative. They show you some of the basics of the game.
Oh, and this.
You know, how to use a med pen, how to use a fire extinguisher.
What we didn't see compared to the live one was.
Oh, you didn't do that in the live?
Yeah, we didn't see it.
So the live we saw.
Yeah. Oh, the plane, ran into.
It got shot up.
Yeah. Yeah. So basically, they're showing you at this. It's kind of a demo, not a demo, a tutorial, where you start learning how to use the different things. Right, how to use the map to find where you need to go, how to put out a fire with a fire extinguisher, how to use the med pen, then how to steal someone's Moby glass so you can steal their intelligence.
Scanning pings.
Yeah, so there's all kinds of little things that they put there to basically get you up to speed. Yeah, we can speed up through this. I don't think we need to show
His
everything.
name is Bob.
Bob.
I guessed that right. I couldn't believe I got that right.
Bob.
This reminds me of Aliens for some reason. Or that's another reference. I know that's another Easter egg.
I don't know. He takes his gun. Why doesn't he take his armor?
Doesn't have time.
Time to protect yourself. Now.
So we can see partying here with your gun and everything.
Yeah, it's just scripted.
Yeah, but you have to
press time events.
A and D key correctly.
Again, teaching you how to play the game. Next, how to put out a fire.
Yay,
Right.
lava.
So it's all tutorial.
Fire extinguisher, yeah. It's like, okay, we good. You can go now. Yeah. And then we get to the bridge almost before this guy
No, something.
Yeah.
rams into the door.
No, you get blown out into space.
He
Oh, yeah,
cracked
no.
the window. Yeah.
You get blown out into space. Grab the spear. Grab the spear. Don't lose the spear. You lost the spear. All right. Well, now you're out in fucking space. Okay.
Yeah. Ouch.
So then they show you how to
Zero G
jump.
traversal, yeah,
Zero
without
G
an EVA
traversal. And how you have to keep an eye on your oxygen because you're going to run out. And if you're not quick, which I expect a lot of people will do that, they're going to die.
He has mag gloves or mag boots, I'm assuming, because he keeps
Sticking.
He keeps shooting for surfaces, and then he can hold on to it, even though there's no actual grab point. It's just flat. But so I'm assuming he has like magnetic gloves.
Yeah, but we're over analyzing. I mean, it's gameplay. It's never going to be realistic. Then so he gets inside the ship, but
yeah,
it's
basically
still
from grab point to grab point, floating.
Yeah, it's still damaged. He hasn't gotten inside a area where he can breathe.
Oh, there it is.
And very conveniently, a working airlock. That's sealed.
Yep. So now he can actually breathe. And this is where he goes up to the bridge, right?
Mm-hmm.
A working elevator.
Yep. Goes up to the bridge. Yo, Captain, don't shoot. Don't shoot. It's okay. Calm down. Calm down. Now he gets to be a pilot of a Javelin.
Oh, yeah. This was actually interesting because it showed how their idea in Squadron 42 at least, how you pilot capital ships through this, this holographic displaying of the path
Yeah, I'm curious if
you're
that's
staring
going to be
towards.
something that we're going to have.
I guess for capital ships, it
in-game.
makes kind of sense because it just, these things are slow to turn and navigate anyway, so it's more.
And I guarantee you there'll be people that'll turn it off if they can.
Yeah, but flying these ships is more like you have to really steer them towards where you want to go instead of you just zipping around like a fighter pilot. So it would be it's very useful to know which direction you're actually going to. So the holographic displaying of the path this thing is going to take is kind of actually useful, I guess. So I'm hoping they can stick with that.
I remember everybody bitched about them giving you the windows at the cities, where you could remember the windows that they gave you at the cities to fly into the hangars.
Oh, you mean the ATC path?
The glide, yeah. So this is kind of like the same thing. I guarantee you, people will turn it off. They're not going to want it.
Well, it's always optional, I guess, but I guess it could be useful since big ships are just slow. Kind of like steering a train on rails, but you're not really on rails.
So at this point, they're like, last ditch effort, get the fuck out of there.
I'm gonna ram it into the ship.
Yep. And then you got the boarding parties.
Yeah, those pods.
Yeah.
They're all kind of cool because they
bore right through the freaking ship.
Well, they stick into the hull and then they have this laser like that.
Yeah, they bore through the ship.
And you can just step out. Chaka.
Yep. And then they fight him off. She almost dies.
Right, yeah, you want to go that fast? Yeah, so you fight them off. They
Yeah,
always
I mean,
die.
everybody's watched this thing a dozen times. We don't really need to go
And then they
through
bring
all
them
of
on
that stuff.
board.
So no, go back just 1 second. Go back 1 second. So this is where I would have failed, right? I would not have gone and grabbed her and towed her in. I would have gone for the fucking spear, thinking she's dead, and I would have grabbed the spear and ran into the ejector thing.
Yeah, but the mission says, doesn't it say that? The mission said,
I don't know.
leave with
did it say?
McLaren. Yeah,
Oh, okay. I didn't see that.
on the top right, while your overlay's in the way, but yeah. There's
Yeah,
escape
I
with
would have been looking
McLaren.
at the spear. I would be looking at the spear. Give me the fucking spear.
It says escape, and then you get into the pod,
Yep, and off you go.
which surprisingly has no door.
Yeah. I'm assuming that's polish or part of the polish process where they have to fix that, or it's a force field or whatever. And then a bunch of tidbits for the game. Some of them we've seen, some of them we haven't.
Like a real mirror. Real mirror tech. All the characters. There you see the Idris UEES Stanton there, and its crew that I think the rest of the game will focus on. Mr. Morrow, Webster, Mark Hamill, your wingman. Yeah, we knew all this. But it's nice. I honestly can't. Well, I'm kind of glad that this game, the single player campaign, really does seem to turn out to be a really, really strong single player campaign to get people into this.
If the prelude,
and like we've always said, like years ago, like the success of the game of Star Citizen itself may really, really rely on the success of this single player campaign, which reels in the people into the universe. And the way that this looks now, it really seems like it can succeed on doing that. This actually, it looks really epic. It's a really nice story.
If it's a good story, it will do it. And the prelude, it leads. I mean, if it's on par with the prelude, right? And from what we've seen in some instances of the stuff that they've leaked to us, or not leaked, but they've shown us, it looks like it's going to be a decent story.
2026.
Let's just hope that it is that good of a story. Yeah, that was the heartbreaking part, is when they said it's going to come out in 2026.
Heartbreaking?
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody was
expecting it
pretty
sooner.
sure it was going to happen in 2025, because they're saying they're doing polish, right?
Yeah, but we said
that's a lot
before
of polish,
that
man. 2 years
last year when he said that polish isn't necessarily a short stage of development.
Right, but they've been doing it for a year now, and they're going to do 2 more years.
Yeah,
3 years of polish.
That isn't that crazy. I don't think.
Yeah, that is.
No, it's not.
It is.
No.
For 40 hours worth of gameplay.
Yeah.
That's a lot of polish.
This is a big ass game that's being developed, man. It's going to take some time.
There's other games that have 40 hours.
Not
easily.
Like this game.
And they don't. I will give them. Look,
already has
80% done, 80% left.
You know what I mean?
Look, I give CIG a lot of what do you call it?
Slack.
Credit?
Slack. Yeah, I give them a lot of credit, and I give them a lot of slack. Okay.
Random showed the image that Pegasus.
But
Pegasus.
I'm sorry. It's just like 2 years is just, especially if it comes out at the end of the year. That's like, what have you been doing? What have you been doing? Because you should be bug fixing. You guys should be at the point now where you're doing all the bug fixing and, getting rid of all the bugs, cleaning it all up and everything like that. You should be in what is technically that crunch period. I can't, I'm like, no, this should have been 2025. But,
Yeah, you're the one on the left. Yeah, and everyone else is the one on the right.
I am the one on the left. I am the one on the left because I thought it should be by 2025. 2 years, dude.
It doesn't matter. We waited
years.
this long. I'd wait another 2 years. So.
Longer.
It's not we can do about it. So be the guy in the right.
Wait.
Okay, so Mighty has a good point. It's like if GTA 6 comes out next year, we don't want to compete with them. So maybe it would be better to release it afterwards, because you don't want to compete against GTA. GTA has history. GTA has a strong following. Everybody will be doing that. They won't be doing Star Citizen. Photo thinks it should have released last year. So I don't think 2 years is right. I was disappointed.
Right, day 2.
Oh, whoa. Okay, all right, slow down. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so day 2, I'm actually it was kind of different this first bit of day 2, because instead of all there was a lot of fluff on Saturday, like pretty stuff, pretty graphics, pretty environments, pretty this and that. A lot of imagery based, excitement, like, oh look, this is cool, oh that's cool, oh it looks good, that's great. And this day 2, I opened with crafting, which was a lot of actual good information on actual gameplay mechanics and how it will work, how they were planning on doing this, alongside showing how it might work. So yeah, crafting, which I think was pretty nice. Blueprints.
I love it. Very Star Wars Galaxy, and
is it? I never played that.
Starfield and Fallout 4 kind of mixed together. I love it. I can't wait for it.
Yeah, they're introducing blueprints here.
But yeah, what we're seeing is the basic blueprints. But what I'm really surprised about the whole thing is how large the blueprints get. Like, we'll be able to make ships.
Yep.
They said yes, we can make ships. Well, it's part of the journey to 1.0, but let's include it in this because it's really part of this. I think, right?
This was an introduction, really.
Right. This is an introduction to crafting. Right. They basically laid out the footwork. Right. You get blueprints. Some of them you get from, just buying them. Some of them you get from just looting them generally. Some of them you get them from faction rewards. There's all kinds of ways of getting blueprints, right? Once you get them, they're yours forever, permanently. You cannot lose them.
Yeah, it's digital data, this.
The way you build them is very dependent on the resources and the quality of the resources. That's very Star Wars Galaxies. Right? Better resources will result in better quality product.
Yeah. So giving everything a quality rating.
Yep. You have different levels to your items that you create, anywhere between 1 and 3.
Tiers, you mean, yeah.
Tiers, right? Which is very Fallout 4 and Starfield. And I'll just say Starfield from now on, where you can actually enhance them and make them better through research and, meeting certain criteria and goals, right? Yes, I know Starfield sucks, but all right, so we'll use Fallout 4. All right, so Fallout 4 research and stuff, which will allow you to get it to go up from 1 to 3. Now, ships. We can build ships. You can modify those up to 5. So they go from 1 to 5. Okay. And again, it's all based on the quality of the resources from the primary resource. The secondary resource will impact it based on quality, in that you either can use less material on your secondary, or you will be able to produce more or better quality if you use better quality second resource as well.
It said you would also require blueprints for refining, which I was like a little confused about.
Yep. Basically, they are going to require blueprints for everything. And going to the part about 1.0, and this is like, it's not just base building or spaceships, right? It's also going to be space stations and capital ships. So you are going to be able to find blueprints to build just about everything that is already being provided in game, only hopefully better, because you will actually have the tiers and the material resources to influence how well it gets made.
Different item fabricators here. Nutrition, what's it said? Nutrition fabricator, chemical fabricator, and dual item fabricator. Yeah, they're really going out with this. I like it. And then they showed us basic base building first with a little AR overlay and what was that thing called? Grav cart.
Yep, the grav cart is the minimum. It has up to size 2 drones, I think it is.
Is that like a tiny machine that you can carry on the back of a vehicle?
Yep. They say it's small enough that you can carry it in almost any starter ship that has. You can put it in a cutter. They pull it out of a cutter.
They said that too, yeah. So like was.
They said that if you're going to build in safe territory, you have to pay in advance for the property. If you build in unsafe space, it doesn't cost you anything. You just build.
Yeah, because it's land is
too small drone
unclaimed.
Shady? Sorry. Yeah, because it's unclaimed area, so you can just build it. So one of the things I had mentioned in our conversation after I found out about that is that how is that going to affect the people that bought deeds? How do deeds come into effect?
Deeds are for the claim systems now, so that if you want to...
Right, but the thing is like, if you can just go and plop it down and say, okay, I'm going to pay for this property so I can go ahead and build without having to have a deed, how does people with deeds work? Or the claims?
Well, no, that's what I was saying. Claims are for the UEE systems, and I actually did say that when you bought those anyway, because you buy a license at the UEE office for whatever it is that deals with that stuff. And which allows you in the UEE territory to claim a land as your own and build on it. But in any unclaimed system, such as in Pyro, it doesn't matter. You don't need those. Just like you can plop down anything
I
any way you
understand
want.
that part, but what I'm saying is, how do we use it? So basically, you don't have to have a deed.
No.
To start building.
If you have a claim rod, right, this is only for UEE territory. It's pointless anywhere else.
You're not listening. You're not listening. You're not understanding.
No,
okay.
It's irrelevant. It's irrelevant.
Wait a minute.
What are you saying?
In the UEE, wait a minute. You're not listening.
In the real world.
When you go and you can watch the video again, you pull out the hover thing. You say, okay, I want to build a building here. It's going to say, okay, you now have to pay for the property if you're in UEE space. Before, you had to have a claim and place the claim before you can build. So what I'm asking is, does the claim, is that basically I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to use this claim for this area to replace that payment that I would do? Because claims are no longer necessary. You just go to find an area you want and say, okay, I want this property, and then you just pay right then and there.
Who says that? Where did you see that?
It's in the video.
Is it?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to tell you. You don't necessarily need a claim anymore.
What do you mean here? Pick a spot.
Yeah, you pick a spot. If you're in the UEE, you pay for it, and then you can start building. If you're in Pyro, you don't pay for it. You just start building because you're not in the UEE. So if I have a claim, is it, do I just like say, okay, hey, here's my claim. I'm going to use this and then have it give me 8x8 or 4x4?
I guess so. I don't know.
But the thing is like the way they make it sound is like you don't need 8x8 or 4x4 anymore. There's no limit. You just keep adding and you just keep paying more. So I could build it as big as I want.
Yeah, but the 4x4 or 8x8 claim that you've purchased with whatever, the Pioneer back then, gives you that without you having to pay for it anymore because you you bought it with real money.
But what I'm saying is
But the rest, if you want to expand, you got to pay more, I guess, yeah.
Right, but what I'm saying is now nobody needs it because they don't require it.
Well, you might have to buy it at the UEE office anyway if you want to do it in UEE space in the game, like for Alpha
No,
UEC.
you just do it. You just do it right there on the drone on that hovercraft.
I don't believe that. I can't believe that. It's true.
Dude, watch the video. The guy says you just pop it up. If you're in UEE, it says you have to pay for this before you can plant it, and then you pay for it and you plant it.
Well, that's the equivalent of the claim then, I guess. Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying is like, if you don't need the claim, you just need to pay.
Well,
what do I do with the claims that I have? Do I just
you mean the physical object of that little tic tac that you got? I don't know.
Does the claim
never have had to use that anyway. It's just like this process of you claiming land is entirely administrative, so the TAC itself was useless anyway. I don't know. It's vague.
What I'm saying is like they'd have to answer. They have to answer. How is that going to work? Because never once throughout the whole presentation was a claim mentioned. Never once.
I do like this though, because they mentioned decorating your areas and the fact that you can mag lock all the objects in your buildings, which also ties into the fact that if you wanted to trade something like that's on display in your base that you wanted to sell, you could have someone buy it, and that unlocks that mag lock onto the ground, which makes it so that people can then take it after they paid you. But this is a really nice thing, and I'm guessing the mag locking will also make it so that you don't bump it, and it flies to the other side of the room like it does now in the hangars. When you can't place down objects without them jiggling or being thrown across when you accidentally bump into them.
Yep.
Which this is kind of nice. I guess they kind of learned from the actual player experiences. Actually, it seemed to incorporate that into here. Which is cool.
It says it also prevents people from just stealing your stuff.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, though, and it unlocks when they actually buy it, and they can't take it. And then they went on to bigger bases with extractors. And this was interesting, too. Freight elevators that are part of a network that you can then connect to each other. So you stick something in the freight elevator on this side of the base, and then you go to the other side of the base and open it up, and you can call up the item that you just put into the other freight elevator. It's just shared storage or whatever. That's cool.
Yeah,
That's
so
cool.
you just start doing a daisy chain to be able to
within
get it
limits,
from one end to the other. Yeah.
Within limits of certain range, whatever. Yeah, and then they showed us that they also got hangars, which you can plop down that go into the ground, and fabrication hangars, which allows you to, like you said before, build ships. Yep. Pretty nice, all this.
Now, there's one thing about building ships, right? So this is something that we had a conversation about earlier. And they said this, and this is very important. right? Everybody, whenever they buy a ship regularly or whatever, you have a tier 1 ship. So everybody is basically starting with a tier 1 ship. You, as you become more proficient and better resources and research and all that stuff, eventually can build tier 5 ships, right? And people are going to want to buy those tier 5 ships. That does not render your tier 1 ships useless, because you can actually, once you learn how to build up those ships to the different tiers, can be applied to your ships. Right? Yeah, better components is some of it, but it's also like structure and all that other kind. It's kind of like taking it into a shop and having it modified kind of thing. So you can as long as you have the blueprint and the skill level, you can build up your ships into better versions. So like if I have a Zeus, if I can get my hands on a Zeus blueprint, I can then start working on getting the tiers up on the Zeuses, and then I can actually apply that to my own Zeus and get it from a 1 to a whatever tier I actually get it to.
It seems like something VMset would be doing all day long. It's just scavenging dead bodies of players and unfortunate accidents around the system, and then taking it all back to his base
them in the store
and displaying them there so he can sell all this shit to other people. And I don't know. It's kind of nice though, because they allow you to they allow you to do it like it's shown on a different slide.
A store. You can actually build
so
your own store.
But you can set up just a digital terminal, which it can just be magic inventory, or you can do it physically and just display all the stuff in the actual buildings, which also functions
very much like Star Wars.
They can actually buy
Galaxies.
stuff like this too, instead of having to do it through the terminal.
Yep. Star Wars
Which
Galaxies
ties in what I said earlier with the Mac locking the items. Yeah, so that's going to be kind of nice.
And one of the things they said that, is like location, right? It's like you can do it in Pyro, you can do it in Stanton. You got to think about who's going to, are your customers going to be more comfortable buying the stuff in Stanton? Or are they going to be like really nervous looking over their shoulder if they're going to be buying it in Pyro?
And you can apply tins and decals to this as well, just like with what we saw earlier with the ships and the orgs.
Yeah, so one of the things that they said about this is that you can get customized colors and stuff,
tints.
Right? That tints. And then so if you're in a guild area, right? So if you have a large guild and they say, okay, well, hey, I want to build, something in the guild area. I want to build my house and I want to build, a store or whatever. You can do that. And then you can color code it as long as your guild lets you. Some guilds are very anal. And color code it so people know that it's your store, right? And they'll more likely be able to associate that with you and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but this is concept. It's not.
That's strictly concept. The large majority of the stuff that they've shown us is in gray box, which means that they've made progress. With a lot of this stuff, but some of the stuff is still in concept, like the farming and ranching.
Defensive structures.
Yep. Because you need to protect.
Yeah. This is some of the buildings we've already seen before, I think. But yeah. The last year.
Yeah, I wish they had more. I wish they had more variations on the buildings, but I'll settle.
Yeah, I don't know. Farming. And then there's this, and
yeah, that was just an example. Someone built it on an island.
Defensive.
And one on a defenses.
The sunken javelin.
Yeah, so this was supposed to be about how you build a huge city complex.
This is org.
Yeah, org level kind of shit.
Yeah, and that was, I think, that panel. And then we went into Captains of Industries, aka ships, which involved the revealing the new ships and giving us info on the, which all had to tie in with the crafting and the base building anyway. That was basically the theme which we suggested, which we already kind of knew before CitizenCon started. Yeah, so that's a graph card. That's the thing we saw earlier where you build the buildings from.
Got the graph card?
No, well, I'm not sure if it's the thing in the picture, but no, it's this
not
thing.
in that picture.
That's the graph card.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
On the ramp.
It's a dark picture. It's dark, I didn't see it. Sorry.
Why do we
so
need
that's the minimum
base
that
building?
you need to get started is the graph card.
Yeah, kind of. Well, and resources, yeah. And then the drone sizes for different, yeah. And then this showed us the Argo CSV, which was already, leaked the hell out of us, so we knew this was coming. But now we've confirmed that it's a two variants, the fabrication model and the supply model. Currently on the store, the only one you can pledge for is the supply model. I'm guessing the fabrication model will come with the actual, or close to the actual release of this base building stuff, tier 1 in the game.
Yeah.
Which would make sense that they will only do that, so you can buy only the supply model. The fabrication model, let's see, what does it have? It has 2 medium construction drones.
Okay, that's where I got confused.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, well, this is what it says. Like two medium construction drones designed to fit in multi-crew ships to increase availability for SCU cargo, side shield gen.
So you take one of each to get you going, kind of thing.
Yeah, it can get you going. It's a pretty small vehicle. And supply
that's
model
your next level. That's your next level up from the hover pod.
Yeah, and the supply model is basically cargo grid in the back. The funny thing is, it's already in the game, and we've seen people try all sorts of shit with it, put in the back, like even stacking the crates on top. But obviously, they'll go wrong because if they don't snap, they'll just fall off. There's also people that put couches in the back, so you can just use it as people can just sit on it and on a couch in the back. Which apparently works because even though it's a cargo grid, so you can also snap decorations to it, including couches, chairs, tables, probably. It's just the landing bay on 2 floors. Yeah, there's a lot of people that are saying that, Shady. That's like everyone was like, I wish it was a little bigger. The pickup, the bed size is a little small. Like at least they could have made 8 SCU or something like that. But at that point, maybe it would have just been too long, and that would have restricted it from being transported onto the medium ships.
Part of the problem of having it stacking higher is that you're already pretty far off the ground with those tires, right? Which is like already being double stacked. So if you try to like put that into C2, you double stack the back of that, you're going to be hitting the ceiling.
Yeah, well, and in length it would just be too long, I guess. Well, maybe not. Wouldn't be too long, but I think it would restrict you having to load it up into ships too much. Either that or it would just be too hard to load up. Yeah, whatever. It's cute, small. What's the price? $40 or something.
Yeah.
LTI token. It comes with paints. Cool. And then another also related to base building. Actually, I didn't update my freaking... I was clicking slides. Yeah, alright. Also related to base building, the Star Lancer, the next MISC ship. Seems kind of large, medium large. Definitely not. The Freelancer is a lot smaller. Let's say that.
It's a lot sleeker. I like the sleekness of it.
And it comes in 3 variants. Yeah, it's definitely, you can clearly tell it's kind of one of those newer MISC ships. Instead of like the older ones, like the Starfire. Yeah, so it's nice.
So we have 3 variants.
Yeah, so there's the building variants, the combat variant, and the Max is kind of like the Freelancer Max. It's just the cargo variant. It's bigger, lots of empty space, so you can, cargo. And the build model, that's a nice thing. It comes with a bunch of larger drones, I think, and an actual drone control room, and it's for the larger.
Does it say whether they're medium or large drones or?
Let's see. Yes, it actually does. It's here. The Starlancer build folds 4 large construction drones.
Damn.
28 SEO cargo capacity, remote turrets, fire control, okay, yada yada. But it's, so the drones come out of this hatch. And you have a control room for it.
So I'm wondering if this isn't going to put the module for the Galaxy to shame. I can't imagine what they're going to put in the Galaxy, other than maybe
Which one was
more
that again?
Cargo space. Because the Galaxy is going to have the module for building.
Is it?
Yeah. Oh, that's what they said. So what is it going to have? Extra large drones, or, I mean,
that's a larger ship though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Than this, I guess maybe. Yeah.
Maybe they'll be able to hold
or more medium drones,
more resources, more drones. I mean, the more drones you have, the more stuff you can build, right? Because it takes one drone to build one structure. So if you got 4 drones, you can build 4 structures. Of course, you need the resources to be able to build that stuff. So having a bigger ship with more resources would make it easier.
What's the price of this? Actually, this one isn't on sale, is it?
No.
No, it's okay. It's delivered alongside base building.
I think each one is 2 and change.
What?
Each one of these Star Lancers is like 200 and something.
Oh, don't know. Tell me. Anybody tell me. What's the price?
Tell you in a sec.
You're probably gone.
Where'd it go? 225.
Okay.
On War Bond.
Yeah, that's the what? The tank or the max?
I think they're both the same, and then 250 for
standard
short credit.
Standalone, yeah.
And then, let me just verify that I'm not mistaken with the price. Oh no, actually the TAC is 295.
Oh damn! Well, it's military,
Yep.
Does make the combat variants more expensive.
330 with 330 if it's the TAC. No, it's 330 with for the TAC if you
that's a lot of difference.
That's a big difference.
Yeah.
Huh.
250 and 320. Yeah, well, whatever. It's pricey. But yeah, the TAC military variants. See their interiors. We got the Fury in there. I wonder if it could fit anything else. So
we'll find out for sure.
The Fury is kind of sleek, though. I doubt it may fit any fighter. Other than maybe a C8, but that's not a fighter.
No, I mean that if you look at the image, that door looks pretty small. It looks like it's going to be a tight fit just for the Fury.
Yeah.
And there's not too many ships that are smaller than a Fury. You can definitely get a Pulse in there.
Well, the Pulse fits everywhere. You can take it through freaking hallways if you want. How small it is. Yeah. Attack. Let's see his stats on this. Tier 3 medbeds. That's kind of interesting. Drop seats.
Yeah, it's
size
kind of
5
like
man turrets.
It's kind of like.
I understand why it's so expensive.
A bigger Valkyrie is the way I look at it. I think it's a bigger, beefier type of Valkyrie because it does offer dropping. It gives you a support craft as well. Those size 5s are turrets that are underneath and to the front, so they're there to clear the ground. You know.
Yeah, one here, one there, and I think 2 on each side here.
Yeah, 1 on each side.
Hmm.
So I'm willing to bet that it's more like a beefy dropship.
And then you've got the max.
I wouldn't necessarily drop it into a hot zone, but
224 SCU cargo, 128 on a ventral drop platform, and 96 on the rear ramp area. 6 extra VTOL thrusters, whatever that is supposed to give us. More control over landing.
Remember, they said that when you will eventually have to deal with the cargo that you put in your ship.
I mean, like mass
your ship
effects
will be affected. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So having those thrusters are to get you off the ground when you load up.
That's really not something that they've ever really talked too extensively about.
Well, they're making it a point because they brought it up with the Zeus.
Did they?
Right. The Zeus, they said the Zeus CL has extra heavy thrusters because it carries more cargo. So I expect them to start leveraging that more here in the future.
And then
especially with the atmospheric.
Yeah, the atmospheric effects. But really, I think we expected this. Well, maybe not this CitizenCon, but everyone already thought that this needed to happen anyway, because the original concept of the Pioneer and the way that it just builds the square-based outpost inside of its factory there in the middle of the ship had too much limitations. They actually explained it in the panel as well. It's like the fact that you have to build them there means that you have to land somewhere on the surface of a planet that has more space than you actually need to place the outpost down. So, which is kind of dumb because that means that you need more space for the factory to land to build the base than the actual base needs space to to be there. And the fact that it only was designed to get those very square type bases out anyways. They needed to reconcept it, so they did.
I like what they did with it.
What exactly? What's the premise now? It's like you have basically stuff that other
they got rid of the big arm, right?
Yeah.
Like Shady pointed out, they got rid of the big crane arm that used to go out to the side. Now you have the hanger on the left-hand side, which goes up and down, that you can use
that pad
to actually build ships in if it fits in that area. And then the center area has another build room where you build stuff. And I think they have smaller build areas as well.
There's a fabrication hangar
things.
And other machines, a habitation area, and I wasn't really paying complete attention, so.
Yeah, but I mean, it's an all-around factory.
A mobile base / factory, yeah.
Yeah. which to me almost, I feel like, you know how people are saying, well, I'll build, I'll build a base and I can build, all these areas and stuff. And it's like, well, if you have a Pioneer, you already have all that stuff there. So you may not have to necessarily build a base, or it basically is your moving base.
4 extra large construction drones.
Yeah.
You're able to craft small ships and vehicles.
The other thing too is that the legs, or the landing gears, are apparently extractors.
Yeah, as well as integral.
You can land
ground extractors.
Yeah, so you can land on a resource and you can extract it into ships. So again, this is almost like
mobile base
building
now.
It's a mobile base. You don't have to build a base. You just do it all in the ship. I mean, obviously you're gonna have to build other things if you want to get bigger and better kind of things. But if you can get away with just this, you can probably build quite a bit without having to actually build a base.
Yeah.
And actually almost better than Banu Merchantman. Maybe. Only in
the Banu Merchantman is basically a city. It's much more than just a base.
And you're selling things, right? Yeah,
it's a marketplace.
You're not necessarily building stuff. This is all about building stuff. Now, if they give the capabilities to the Banu Merchantman,
audience didn't seem to like it. Really?
Who said that?
Philistine. I don't know. Well, fuck them then.
Audience didn't like it, huh? Interesting. Well, yeah. I mean, they obviously had to change the design, so it is radically different. Yeah, they said that they are actually starting to.
Yeah, it's going to go into production real soon.
It's actually on one of the ships in the. No, that's the wrong picture.
Yeah, no, but this was from the last year.
Yeah.
So they recapped this, and the fact that actually some of them are actually still not out, like the Legionnaire.
Yeah, they said that Legionnaire they're not going to be releasing until they get hacking, right? I think is what they said.
Hacking. Oh yeah, because it involved you having to remotely.
You have to hack
into
the
door of the access point, the docking ring, in order to actually gain access to it. Yeah.
Yep. We're not like the Van Duel where they just bore a hole in it and say fuck it. We kind of do it a little bit more civilized, I guess. We'll just hack the door.
And there's the Polaris that's showing us. Yeah, the IE.
Yep.
And the IE floor is going to be there with interior, as you can look. It's like some people are actually saying, "Oh, they'll actually release it at IE2 so you can fly it." But is this something that's
what they committed to us?
This is something that you can just plunk into the PU and expect people not to if you throw something like this into the PU, won't it just be a massively OP ship that people just use to ram into everybody and not ever die?
Yep.
Hence my question, like, what is this a good idea?
No. Mainly because there's no other ships other than another Polaris that can go up against it.
Yeah, well, let them fight.
So that's why I was saying that CIG needs to, instead of waiting until Squadron 42 comes out to give everybody that owns an Idris their Idris, give them a placeholder that is a Xeno threat Idris. So that way you have competing capital ships that can fight each other.
Yeah. And then they gave us all of the new sneak peeks. Some of them actually we already know about anyway. That's the CSV, right? Yeah.
That's the other one, the second one.
Oh yeah, the fabrication model, and this
is the gray cat.
That was a CAV that I heard some leaks talk about a few weeks ago. I still don't really know what it is though.
I'm assuming it's another form of construction vehicle.
Is it?
I'm assuming. I don't
That's
know.
Williamson. We need one. Anyway, then there was this thing that's assumed as an Atlas platform-based vehicle, so Anvil.
Yep.
Something has a turret on top.
Yeah.
Whatever it does.
So there's 3 thoughts on it. We thought it was a command and control, which is possible. Other people like Photo think it may be medical, right? And then what was the third one?
Well, we're getting another medical ship because that was the Terrapin thing that people keep thinking is also on here.
So maybe there's 2. We really don't know what it is, but most people are leaning towards medical, or construction. I'm sorry, construction, because they used the Atlas as an example when they first showed us about construction. So it may be construction. So command and control, construction, or medical.
Let's see. Now, this is clearly something that looks like a Hornet, but...
Yep. I think that's either the stealth or the tracker.
So they're going to go... So these are the Mark IIs then? The Mark II stealth?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And probably another one of those variants.
That's the tracker. So the other one is probably the stealth. Yeah.
Okay. I can believe that. Now, this thing is weird.
So that's a Terrapin.
Oh, that's a Terrapin. All right. Yeah.
And everybody thinks that is
medical variant. Right?
Medical. Yeah. Well, if you look in the left-hand side, we're kind of blocking it right now.
That's a gurney. Yeah.
That's a gurney.
Yeah, that's a gurney, definitely. The heavy fight. Actually, why? No, it's not showing up. Hang on. Yeah, the heavy Mirai fighter.
Yep, the Guardian.
Oh, Williams is back. Wow.
Yeah. There's a big storm outside, and
I kind of heard some.
Blew
I heard it here too. Did you know what this is?
So that's the CAV.
Yeah, but what is it?
The Grey Cat. I believe it's a military vehicle.
Oh.
I'm not sure exactly what detailing it is, but it's something to do with military. Because there was mention of missiles in the game files.
Missiles on a... Okay.
Yeah. I think I had 3 size 5 missiles. Yeah, and that weird one. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't think
again, I'm convinced it's military use because of the guards outside. I think that's CIG's hint. But they all have turrets, I think, up in the front. The Hornets, the so-called medical, looks like.
Urban and Sphery, and I think...
I don't know if it's medical or, what you call it, pod catcher or whatever you want to call it, escape pods.
Rescue?
Yeah, kind of thing.
Search and rescue.
Does
it look like the Prospector? Yeah. Oh, it's a... Yeah. Okay. Then the Misfortune looks like a Prospector. Does it involve anything with mining, or could it just be something else?
No, it's salvage.
Salvage?
Yeah. The Fortune's a salvage ship.
Can't they just put salvage beams on the Prospector instead?
Maybe they figured it'd be more lucrative to make money if they build the ship.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. All right.
But this creates boxes. We'll do it when you're stuck with those bloody bags.
The bags. Yeah.
Does it create boxes?
This is the great question mark.
Flat.
Yeah.
So this one is either right. I showed that one image, and you were kind of in agreement. It might actually be. No, this is either the Crusader or the
Intrepid?
Apollo.
No. See, I don't think any of
This is
these
the
are
Intrepid.
Apollo's
famous
larger.
previous years. No, so it's not the Intrepid. This is something else.
Oh, the Apollo's a lot larger as well, isn't it?
No, this is not the Apollo. The next one further on is the Apollo.
Oh, yeah, the Apollo's in there, yeah.
Yeah. No,
Well,
nobody.
this would be the Intrepid then.
No. It's none of last year's silhouettes are in here.
No, they are.
What one?
The Intrepid is one of them, and so is the Guardian. Both of those were last year.
Well, you see, the thing about the Intrepid is that when it lands, the wings at the edge fold up. So
that's kind of folded up, aren't they?
Where?
Kind of.
No.
At the tip, at the far end, where all the text is.
Can you go back to last year's? I thought I'd seen it there.
Can I go back to last year's? Holy shit. How far do we have to scroll up then?
No,
the image you had before.
Yeah, but that's
the yellow
a
one.
small one. I don't think it was on there.
Did you close it off?
No.
You should have it when you attach unless you close
anyway,
it.
so yeah, they were clearly go back.
Right there.
Yeah, so you see the
Intrepid. Oh,
see
the wing.
wings
Yeah, the
back,
wingtip is a lot bigger.
Yeah, and there's the gun turret there in the front as well. So.
Ours actually did say it. Call it the Intrepid.
Yeah. So.
Oh no! Wait a minute. Maybe that's isn't that the Zeus? No. That's
no.
That is the Zeus. The Zeus is the Zeus. Okay, never mind.
But yeah. So nobody has a clue what that is. That's a very unique one. We were trying to get the shape.
I got it. Is this one right?
Yeah, that is the Zeus.
That's the Zeus there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's the Zeus. No, wait. Which one is the Intrepid then?
We thought it was the other one. That one.
That's the one there. Yeah.
Okay. God, I'm scrolling through crazy here. But yeah.
All right, go back. Let's go
and
back.
And the next one was people keep assuming this is Drake.
This is the weirdest one.
Because it looks like
the Drake Abomination, as I saw it labeled.
It has that same wings up style.
It reminds you of a Corsair and a Herald had a baby. So
I think that's going to be a bounty hunting ship.
Oh, he's scanning or some stealth stuff.
It's big for a bounty hunting, but yeah, no, it's possible. It could be a. Well, actually, don't they have the blue? Isn't that their bounty hunting ship?
Oh yeah, you're right.
Not that small either.
Right.
Looking at this guy.
About the blue.
No, it's not. It's just weird.
It's square and
extraordinarily narrow. And then those unnecessary.
It's narrow until you drop the wings. Once you drop the wings, then it's freaking wide as hell.
Mm. Yeah, nobody knows what that is. So this is the Apollo.
Okay.
I guess, yeah.
I can tell by the engines in the side and.
Yeah, shady. That's what I was thinking. Slave One, Boba Fett.
So yeah, maybe.
That will be
the Star Lancer.
Star Lancer, probably the TAM, whatever. TAC.
It could be even the Mac.
The Mac. Yeah, it could be the Mac.
Well, does that have a big gun turret on top? I don't remember seeing that.
Yes, the Max has a big turret on the top.
All right. It's probably the Max.
The Max.
Anyway, didn't they say both will come out at IAE? The Max and attack.
I don't know if they said both would come out at IAE. I know the Max they said will.
It has a turret. Well, yeah, there.
The point. Yeah, I thought they said the 0.3 patch would bring it out.
And the TAC.
The Max for sure. Yeah.
Let's see if I can still find it. The TAC. They didn't say it actually. Not in this slide though. It's just said secure yours now. You can pledge it, but it didn't say when it would be flyable.
Okay, so
we're still
the TAC. It is labeled as concept, and the Max
Well, if it's flyable at IEE, it's pretty finished then, no?
Yeah, the max is, if I remember correctly, is labeled as flight ready, but it's not. But it's not labeled concept. So yeah, I think I think that's going to be just the max. I think that's all we're going to get.
Who knows? Yeah. Okay. Then we got this.
The Perseus.
Perseus. Yeah, I can see it now. Clear with a big turret in the nose there.
We need that to go up against the freaking Polaris.
The Polaris, yeah.
If they're not going to give us the freaking Idris, they got to give us the Perseus, because there's nothing to go up against the Polaris except another Polaris.
Nice shit.
Yeah, that should be fun with the big guns and the torpedoes, and then the Pioneer. Then
Ironclad.
Oh, that's the Ironclad. Yeah, sorry. The last one's the Pioneer.
Clear Drake thing. And this is the Pioneer, yeah.
Yep.
That means it's going to give us all these ships within the next year?
That's what they say.
Even the Pioneer.
You know,
oof.
The last one didn't work out quite exactly the way they expected
entirely,
it. So
no.
I don't expect these to be all done in a year either.
So, yeah.
Perseus. Yes, mighty.
Perseus, yeah.
So I don't know. I feel too numb to even talk about this because it was really in depth, the 1.0
Do you want to talk
panel.
about this next week then?
Yeah, let's talk about 1.0.
We
next
can
week.
skip ahead and go to the
Space building?
station warfare.
Space
yeah,
station?
exactly.
Yeah.
Which was at the end of that, which was kind of something that, honestly, I didn't even expect this because, and I think a lot of them are the same boat because we were all, wait a minute, play your own space stations? Didn't you always say that we're not going to do that? Well, I guess not. Because here it is.
Yeah. So, space stations. We will get to build space stations.
Yeah, this is basically.
But told us that we weren't.
This is
They
the,
lied to
the
us.
funny thing is, this is basically expanding on the base building from on the planet side base building even more, because this functions generally in the same way where you just
Yep.
you the only thing is that instead of that grav cart thing or something else on the ground, you need this. Actually, how did you even get it there? There was this singular small.
There's one section.
thing, yeah.
Section right there. Yep.
So it says it
supply
right there. It's
bay.
constructed by the Pioneers, a supply bay, and it constructs the rest of the entire space station from there. But yeah, like it's constructed from the Pioneer, but how do you get it into orbit? Then that's my question. But
Well,
I guess
that's how you do it with the Pioneer, because the Pioneer's a ship, right? So
so
the Pioneer
you can
flies
poop it
up.
out,
Yep. The Pioneer poops it out, right?
but it doesn't fit.
Well,
the thing is
doesn't poop
large.
it out. It's large, but it uses drones, right? Everything is around drones, right? So the Pioneer.
I mean, you could just park the Pioneer in space.
Drones, you park it.
Oh.
You get the drones. You restock the Pioneer if necessary or whatever, until this is built. Once that's built, then you start bringing in all the resources to that, and then that thing has its own drones, and then it will collect the resources and start building out the rest of the station.
Yeah, I like that tiered idea. It's automated construction drones. Supply bay integrates into constructed space station.
Yep. It starts building the ring, and then building the dome or whatever. And what happens is you eventually end up moving operations from the supply module into the core, where the bridge or whatever. So I don't know exactly what it entails, but neither does anybody else really.
I don't think they completely explained it anyway. It was then they were going on to so let's show the bridge, which are all just pictures and like, okay, cool. And it involves a central transit system in the middle that funnily enough, he mentioned that there was not going to be any fake wonkevaders, that just zip through everything, like no clip cheat codes through everything, and just take you to your hangars. They were going to do this in an actual real way,
so
like
the
actual
basic
straight up and down
framework. The basic framework is going to be the same throughout all the space stations.
Yeah.
However, there are going to be parts of it that you can customize.
Yeah, such as I think all the hallways and the connection.
The hallways are structured. Obviously the walls, the elevators, right? Those kind of things, and then where you put certain things will be customizable.
But I kind of liked the fact that they kept on showing that all these hallways are not just narrow hallways to be used on foot, so you can actually drive vehicles through them, which for the first time makes it so that you can use vehicles not only on planets.
That's going to be chaotic.
Why? Maybe it's wide enough so you can just pass each other.
Do you remember Area 18 when that first came out and they introduced bloody PT base?
Yeah, but come on, if these are player owned, and you're gonna make a mess out of that you're gonna get banned.
You're not gonna be doing stupid shit. You'll get kicked out of the fucking guild or whatever.
Accidents will most likely happen anyway, but I mean, you gotta be responsible.
There will be people that do stupid shit, but
yeah, of course. And yeah, so hangars, which they actually showed again that they learned from the experience in the current hangars sections that everybody's asking for. Freaking bays on the side, so you can park your vehicles and other ships out of the way from the big middle pad. Thank God. And that also involves like a control room that you could never do anything with current hangars, but now you can actually access them and even drive into them with
Yeah, what's cool is that you can actually control the freight elevators from that room. So when the person comes in, you could, if they're coming in to pick up stuff, you can have the freight elevator already populated and up and ready for when they come in, so you can quickly load it. Or you can have it up and ready and empty if they're dropping stuff off and everything. So they give you control of that so that the ground crew or the people in the ships can just go and do what they need to do and not deal with that shit.
But yeah, all the
this
rooms...
is where the hallways are all standardized, but the rooms can be customized.
You can pick whatever, That's nice. Shops. And of course, now we get into the exterior. We have hard points. Minor hard points for, turrets and other modules.
Shields, turrets, and I think some of those are like energy messages and stuff.
Then we've got hard points on the rings outside for wings.
Yep.
Cargo wings, refinery. With hangars, like the space stations we have. And again, struts between them. Reversible. Which is kind of cool. They just showed off the rest. And then there was a crow's nest. Literally ivory tower for...
This is the Emperor's Tower.
For the boss, which is like, why?
This is either the Emperor's Tower or the tower like the Jedi Council presides in. So I can see everybody with their seats in the circle around the edge.
Or the one in the Tron on the grid.
Mighty, I mean, a lot of people are going to be like you, where it's like, I'll be happy with just a home on a planet. This is really for the big orgs.
Yeah, they were talking about this because
a lot of people doing this.
They were going into the end game contents from the 1.0, from the previous panel about the 1.0. They were moving into this because this was end game content which basically figured to tailored for large orcs end game content. At which point the orcs will, have the capability to do something like this, which is very end game. Not something you would just do out of the blue. Yeah, so flight deck for rapid response.
I wasn't
unit.
I wasn't impressed with the flight deck.
No, I think it's badly laid out. Like those slopes, for example, on the sides, they could have been bays where you can park your vehicles. Like, say you want to upgrade or something, or any visitors can go off.
In this example, they show half of the bay is lined up with ships, and the other half is actually like a runway.
I mean, like here, yeah.
Yeah, that. I don't know. I'm kind of not a big fan of it myself right now.
No, not really. But anyway, it could have been designed better. But anyway, it's better than nothing, I suppose.
I would rather it be more like Battlestar Galactica, where they would just be able to shoot out. You know, if I'm going to be in a hurry, I want quick.
So, battles.
And then they showed us a little scenario with battles, and a drop.
So how much damage can occur to the stations? That's what I'd like to know.
Well, it depends, right? What are you setting up against it? How well is it defended, right?
Can you destroy it?
I think yeah, sure. I don't see why not.
You see, that was omitted. I don't know.
Well, this was all just fluff anyway. I think because
I think what they're trying to do is say that you can go ahead and do raids and stuff and steal stuff. I don't think they want to encourage people just going out and destroying other people's bases. But if I would think that you can destroy it if you don't have defenses.
You can massively cripple it and disable it, but
that's what
because if it's invulnerable, where you cannot destroy it, that is such a fucking what's the word I'm looking for? I won't say exploit, but that is so OP, having something that is non-destructible.
Well, I hope so. Yeah, it needs to be similar to Eve, where there needs to be you put all the effort into building a huge bloody ship, and then you lose it. Eve is notorious for that, so I'm hoping you can do something like that.
This whole showcase here at the end, it just felt like to me it was, and obviously I think it actually is. It was just a big show off to get the community to drool over this stuff, but and in actuality, it doesn't really have any hard. This just raises a lot of freaking questions, which was just like when was that CitizenCon years ago when they were just goofing off and they just decided to do an Idris versus an Idris battle, which was when you think about it later, it was just dumb anyway, because they were just their game systems weren't designed to even accommodate something like that in the beginning in the first place. So it all just massively lagged, and it was fun to see, but it was just dumb, and it didn't really tell us anything. It was just something to drool over. Oh, cool, Idris versus Idris. Now they're showing us this, which I get that there are actual plans that they want to do for the future, but this is so far out there that it's probably you can look at this and be like, okay, so that's where they're going, but in terms of any of the details, it's hard to even.
They've given us a lot of information, but they haven't told us whether you can destroy it or not, right? That's a very glaring piece that they forgot. Well, no, they answered quite a lot of questions. I mean, you have a pretty good understanding of what its capabilities are, what you can do with it. The thing is, this is really top level. How do you get all this stuff?
Even all those modules, how do you get them? How do you build them? Do you buy them?
Yeah, you build them. You build them.
It's all crafting.
You build them. It's all crafting. You get blueprints. It's all about that, right? You got to go find the blueprints for it, or you got to buy the blueprints, and you got to buy the materials or get the materials. This is like I said, this is top end game, and this is really going to be for huge.
These stations going to have power generations and hydroponics.
You're going to have
life support,
everything.
It's got. They showed us that.
I wouldn't expect
fields.
I wouldn't expect this stuff to be built in a couple weeks or a couple months. I
No, of
know
course not.
you may know that almighty realm, but other folks and other orgs don't seem to look at it that way, and people were trying to curb people's expectations. Stuff like this, at least minimum 6 months should be. If you do a couple hours of gameplay a night with a bunch of people, 6 months. For example, my group ADI, past 30 days, 1,400 people were active with about 2 hours a night on average. So it will even take ADI. It should quite some time to make this, and you had to get like planetary bases first. Got to build up, tech up, and reputation, blah 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 blah. And what happens if you get set back? How long will that set back? And how many people can we get on one night? To keep building up rep and so forth and so on. So this will be, if the orgs are organized in the correct manner, even then it'll be a long-term project, not for the faint of heart. For sure.
Yep. And then what surprised me is you said, well, what about power? It's like you showed the images of the power plant. You said you even liked it because it was part of the whole multi-tier thing, right? So they've taken into account all the stuff. But again, you're going to have a really big, well-organized group to be able to leverage this kind of product. And it's not going to be easy.
Yeah, we all understand that.
Yeah. And I mean, and they've pretty much covered all the bases, right? They give you the arms, the different type of arms. They give you the different, they give you the hangers. They give you all that, everything that you need, right?
Did you see a research section, science section?
They did not say that, but I would not doubt them being able to have one of those.
Yeah, hopefully.
Dry dock.
But the thing is, it's like, yeah, you get a dry dock, and you can build a fucking Bengal if you can get the fucking blueprint for it and the resources. And to top it all off, you can connect multiples together. So not only do you can just have one space station, but you can have multiples connected in the same area.
Nuts.
So you have your own Orison. How many organizations do you think are going to be able to pull that kind of shit off?
Just one, us.
Right? It's going to be fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, that's about a year's work we're seeing here.
I think
God, I didn't even want to think about it.
But it's still too early to. But I mean, yeah, I mean it's going to be freaking crazy, and the fact that you can build your own fucking Bengal if you could is. And that's where you're going to store it, because you can't put it in a.
We assume you'll be able to build a Bengal.
No, I think there was just parked there, dude. You could park something like that in there. That's what it was showing.
Yeah, that's not been a definitive thing.
It is not definitive, but I have a funny feeling that you will be able to, if you can get the blueprints.
I mean,
now,
if that's
getting the blueprints might be a little bit challenging.
More so, yeah, for sure.
Just a tiny bit.
I'm expecting what's going to happen when it comes to, if it's possible to do that. Some dead schmuck somewhere's going to have that blueprint, and the moment you touch it, you're going to light up 5 systems away. People can see you from 5 systems away.
Yeah, but no one can take
it doesn't matter.
No,
once you pick up a blueprint, it becomes yours. And you cannot be stolen. It cannot be taken away. You cannot lose it. So the fact that you have the blueprint makes you a very valuable person. And I'm thinking
to get to use it.
Yeah, I mean, someone will pay you so you can, I don't know how the the thing works, but to get the resources to build it or whatever. But I would assume that A, you're going to have to be a citizen. B, you're going to have to be high ranking in the military. C,
Oh yeah.
you're going to have to be high ranking in some other, whatever, so it is not going to be, and there's probably things you're going to have to do as part of an organization, right? To meet certain criteria, because in all honesty, a single person is not going to be able to get to a point where they can probably just get it by themselves.
Yeah.
Especially since this is an org type ship and an org type base.
Yeah.
But it's fucking awesome. It's exciting.
Oh yeah, very exciting. So are you going to join an org into this?
It's just, the crazier it gets, the bigger the doubt I have.
I don't think that I don't know how far our org will go. We used to have a very big Star Citizen group, but a lot of people have moved on to other games. So I don't know if a lot of people will come back once it releases. So right now we're more like a mercenary unit versus a huge org.
Okay.
But would this not force then orgs to come together?
Well, this is where human nature will destroy that from working, right?
Wow, good Lord! I don't take
human
such
failure.
Okay, so
here.
Here's my rationale. Okay, let's say we got 4 organizations get together and they say we're going to build a base, right? We're all affiliated. Okay.
No, but before you go there, right? I'm talking about the actual merging of orgs, because they realize they're too small, and if they come together,
alliances.
They
we saw that in the org social.
If they want to merge and become a brand new org or just a single org, yes, that will happen. I think that definitely happens. I've seen that happen in the past. However, we do have affiliations, right? And that's where I think it's going to fall apart, because let's say you have 4 organizations that say, hey, let's, we get along pretty well and stuff like that. Let's go ahead and build a base. But when you start building the base, then it gets into the drama of, well, who owns the base? Who's actually running the base?
But then that comes back to, will they remain affiliates though? You see,
well, that's what I'm saying. It's like, it's like, you're right. They may start as affiliates and then decide to merge because they realize that, okay, so you have 4 affiliates and there's one guild says, well, look, I'm going to build a base, right? You guys can help if you want and be part of our group and share in using the base, but they control it. So if another guild wants to do something different and the main controlling faction doesn't want to, that's going to cause drama. If the main or if the main organization isn't contributing as much as the other ones are going to get upset and say, why aren't you contributing as much? That's going to cause drama. There's too many situations that will destroy a group of guilds trying to build a space station, where it's like the only way you're going to be able to do it is if you are just a single organization trying to build a station.
Yeah.
I take a bit of an opposite, not completely opposite. I think this is mostly correct, but I believe it is possible for a couple of mid-sized orgs to join together in an alliance under the alliances and to get along. To have a couple of areas and maybe one space station. We'll see if that happens.
You see, the problem with that
in disguise.
The problem with that, you've been breaking up there. The problem with that is it makes that group of affiliates vulnerable, because that's ideal for somebody to infiltrate that and use it to, cause conflict and break them up.
And what happens if one of the affiliates want to leave? Now they leave with nothing. It's like, oh, put in all this effort into the space station. I don't like these two clowns. Now I leave with nothing.
I mean, that's the risk that you take. Well,
Yeah.
as well as the risk you take making a space station or a couple of capital ships and losing it.
Yep.
I mean, that could kill an org right then and there.
Yeah. It's like Shady says, human nature and egos equals drama.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course. And SIG is betting on that. They want Eve-like style of drama without the
Absolutely.
without the poisonous vitriol.
Yep.
That Eve.
Yep. It's going to be challenging.
I think I think we will see small to medium orgs dramatically reduce the amount. There's no doubt about it that you have to come together and form big orgs to get this done.
Well, it all depends on what their goals are, right? If their goals if their goals require to have, that they want to be part of an organization that has a space station, they're going to have to merge or grow, one or the other. And right now, there's only one guild that I think is big enough to pull it off. Obviously, Test, but I don't know how organized they are.
Well, you know what? Test
is not organized.
Test is a fabulous example.
It's not organized.
A disorganized group. It's very loosely based. Test. So even though they are the largest number,
they have the people. They have the people, the quantity of people, to be able to focus on getting the resources and all that stuff to start building a base, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when everybody has a common goal, people get organized. So saying, hey, we want to be the first one to build a space station, they will come together and build it. Then once it's built, that's when they'll start to fall apart.
Well, I mean, I assure you, AGI will reach 10,000, particularly now after this information's come out today. I'm pretty sure we'll reach 10,000. Our leader is expecting us to double now in size in the next year or so, particularly now with Squadron coming out and base building stuff coming out or down the line. So Mr. Bumblebee won't be the only one who's capable of building a space station. That I assure you.
Did you say Bumblebee?
Bumblebee because of the yellow. But here's the thing, though, right? It's like when people are going to be looking to join guilds, they're going to be looking at what you have to offer them, and basically what your capabilities are, right? So the first thing that they're going to be looking for is your ground base, right? Because nobody's going to have a space station right away, but they're going to be looking at your ground bases and seeing if they are big enough to protect them and support them and get them the things that they want that they can't do by themselves. So it really comes down to how quickly and how efficiently people can claim their stake and build it and reinforce it and maintain it.
Well, wouldn't you agree, Innovis, that if that's the case, now would be a good time to join an organization like that? A large organization where everyone is sort of like on an even level right now. So
well, it depends, right?
Hold on. So organizations won't be at a place where they actually have to offer something to prospective members. Now, if folks are thinking about joining an organization, now would be a good time.
Well, right now, the only
everyone
thing
is broken on on an even playing field.
The only thing you have to go by right now is numbers, right? And numbers is what will tell you that they have the resources necessary to do a bunch of stuff. The next marker after that is activity, right?
Yes.
So if you,
And
so let's just say, okay, so we'll use Bumblebee test, and then what's your organization again?
ADI.
ADI. So we'll put the two together or against each other. Test Squadron has twice as many people as you do. So the first thing people are going to look and they're going to go, okay, well, Test has a lot of people, which means I have more people that I can work with. We should be able to build things faster. Blah 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 blah. Right? And then they'll look at you and they go, okay, well, you have a lot of people, you don't have as much, right? So then the thing is finding out how active is each one of you. I will assume that because Test is probably not as organized as ADI, they're going to go into Test and going to say, these guys are not organized. They're not really doing anything except just, smoking and joking. Then they go to ADI and they go, oh, these guys got their shit together. They're actually doing events on a regular basis. They're doing these things. They're promoting, people to do certain activities that they want to do and stuff like that. So then they're more likely to go to you guys than they are to go to Test. And then you guys are more likely to succeed because you guys are more organized. However, again, when they have a goal, they may become organized and be able to execute faster because they have more people.
Well, I mean, if now now it's time for people, to be organized, or to get there. I don't know what Test has done. Like I said, I do know a couple folks in Test, and they're rather nonchalant about the things that quote unquote Test does. I have heard from people I know that their leader, Montoya, has said something to the fact that why should I go through all the effort to organize ourselves when there's nothing to organize around? Now, this is a couple years ago that I've heard this, and now with the goal, this end game goals coming out. Well, if that's the case, then Mr. Montoya better start doing that now. Otherwise, he's going to be behind the eight ball, which I suspect that they're already behind the eight ball now. Not to say that they can. You are correct, Innovis. They are twice as large as us. However, they do have a high number of affiliates. I understand that they also have a high number of single members, members of Test. We'll see how that pans out when these mechanics come, start being posted, inlaid, so to speak, in the game. We'll see. I'm very wary of Test, particularly that's another conversation.
I mean, it's the only reason why they're even being mentioned is because they're technically the largest organization, right?
Yes, you're correct.
So you got to try and compare apples to apples if you can. You guys are like the closest that we can compare to each other. But again,
we're one of the 5, I believe. However, the fleet that me and a couple other people in this chat used to belong to had big claims for the future, and whose leadership went to pot, went to shit, so to speak, and yeah.
Yep. The other thing is we are going to see a fundamental shift in the gameplay of Star Citizen, right? Everybody's always been about combat, FPS, aerial combat, and all that other stuff, right? And then you had the outliers that love to do their salvaging, their mining, and all that kind of stuff. People now know, holy shit, we need to fucking shift over.
Yeah, no. The Star Citizen, as we know up to now, is dead.
Yeah, so you're going to see less people doing combat. You're going to see a lot more people. If they're doing combat, it's because they're fighting over resources.
Yes. Good.
It's a fundamentally different game now. We knew this was coming anyway, eventually, so we can't really complain about it. But yeah, there will be people who the realization of this hasn't kicked in. That's why I said last week the 1.0 segment or panel was the one I was afraid of most, because it would wake us all up to the reality of what CIG's vision was, which was fundamentally then our own individual ones. So yeah, it's yeah. I don't know if some people will leave because they say, no, this is not what I envisioned the game to be. I guarantee you a few, but
there's going to be a few.
Oh yeah,
yeah, quite sure some will. Yeah,
a ton, particularly the likes of EVE Online players are just going to flood over now when that's up and running, because that's
That's
really
what I'm worried about.
Yeah, that's really down their alley. It's a lot closer to EVE than we realize.
Because a lot of the
toxicity of EVE.
Yeah, the EVE is very toxic. So I'm afraid of the toxicity coming in. But the thing about EVE too is, though, if an entire org decides to jump ship, they'll have a learning curve, but they'll have an advantage because they're already accustomed to that form of gameplay.
Yeah, and also they should have numbers far greater than even Test could dream of at the moment. So,
I thought Test was one of the bigger guilds over in.
No, not Test in EVE. The Test here in Star Citizen, which has nothing to do with them.
I don't know. Is it not the same guild?
No, nothing to do with them.
Okay.
But that's a good example. Test over there. What would they do? You know, they won't sit still. They'll be eager to say, "Oh, I like the look at this."
Quite sure.
And their numbers are far greater.
And of course, when Imperium was the cock of the walk, or our big fear back in those days was the Goon Swarm.
Yeah,
coming in and effing with Imperium. What are they? And now they call themselves the Imperium.
That's right.
So what are they going to do?
Yeah. That's correct. Remember that.
All right.
What?
I don't want to do anything else.
Why, do you want to go to bed?
No, but it's been like 2.5 hours now.
Okay, well,
3.5. All
right. So next week we will talk.
A bunch of crap that was shown. So
there's tons, but
we'll get to that next Sunday.
So next Sunday we'll talk about 1.0 and what it all entails.
Yeah, so study up.
Because 1.0 is definitely a lot to take in.
Yeah, and well, lots of opinions.
And just remember that nowhere in CitizenCon, with the exception of Squadron 42, was there a date mentioned for anything. There was not a single hint for any kind of ETA or date.
What about the ships?
Nothing. Oh, the ships are 12 months.
Yeah.
We know that, hit or miss.
Yeah.
So is this the worst example of coming soon trademark from any CitizenCon, really?
Nah.
This is the best example because they did not give us any dates, so we have no expectations.
Except for 2026.
Except for 2026.
Yeah.
God, I felt my heart ripped out when they said that. God damn it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, for a microsecond I felt like that, but it just then kicked in saying, ugh, I've waited this long. What's the difference? You know, there's nothing we can do about it.
Yep.
Anyway, so I'll just
thank you, bots, for sticking around. We really appreciate it.